Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of Talk It How It Is. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Natalie.
And we've got a special guest. Zemis.
Hi.
So, as you know, our aim of our podcast is to have a non-filtered discussion about anything and everything, and our aim, I would say, is to teach and educate while keeping it real. So just a little catch up. It was my birthday.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. We got a bit tipsy over the weekend. How was your week, Nat?
My week was good, thanks. Back to work as normal. It just feels like the same reoccurring
Nightmare.
Yeah. Same reoccurring nightmare.
And what about you, my darling Zemis?
Girl, I don't know what's been happening, but my week has been draining and I have slept. But I'm awake now, so I'm okay.
Good.
So this week we will be talking about mental health. Want Zemis to introduce herself because she is very knowledgeable in this field. Here you go.
Don't set me up for failure. Hi guys, my name's Zemis. I am here because of my own past experiences, also the fact that I have a BSc in psychology and a master's in neuroscience, which means
She's smart.
She's smart.
with no common sense, but it's okay.
Kind of it all.
Which means I just have a little bit more knowledge than most people, just because I've studied it for
Definitely me. More
5
knowledge
years.
than me.
So yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off with, do you know the signs? Are you able to see the signs of someone having any form of mental health issues?
I think that's a really, really hard question, because obviously there's individual differences, and with everyone handles their own stress, situation, life and whatnot, what have you, completely differently. Some people are really, really good at hiding stuff. I found that I was able to hide my depression and anxiety quite well for many a year. Some people it is a bit more evident. There is certain signs. So certain signs I would say is like constant low mood. Not sleeping can sometimes be an indicator of not necessarily mental health, but something is going on because you're just restless. Yeah, exactly. You're not settled. Depressive episodes. So what you have to remember is depressive episodes are different to full-blown depression. Everyone in life tends to go through depressive episodes, but it doesn't necessarily mean you are a depressive or you suffer from depression. But obviously if that is, reoccurring and it's more constant and it's getting worse and you have that constant low mood, or you have the suicidal thoughts or self-harm thoughts and ideations and stuff like that, that can also be a sign. And then obviously you've got the kind of psychosis side of it when you talk about, I don't really want to say how do I explain it? I don't really want to say that one mental health issue is more or less severe than another, but exactly, because from when it affects your life, it's severe, is what it comes down to, whether it's anxiety or schizophrenia, it doesn't matter, it affects you. So it's going to be severe to you, but you have certain other things, i.e. like I said, looking at schizophrenia or bipolar, and you might have kind of like hallucinations. Intrusive thoughts is another one as well.
Okay.
Sorry. A lot of information. Yeah, sorry.
Do you think that Class A drug users go undiagnosed?
Ooh. Yes and no. Because drug use and the effects of drugs can sometimes imitate certain mental health.
Should they have trigger points?
They have triggers, but it can also kind of mask certain signs that you may have, and you may I can't think of the word now, but you may express, basically. So like you may be taking some kind of class A, B or even C drug, and those withdrawal symptoms could mask what you're actually mask what you're going through. It's withdrawal.
It's a withdrawal.
Yeah.
From the drug.
And it might be after
sense.
you completely come off that drug, if you are lucky enough to get that far, because addiction in itself is a whole nother ball game, and it's not easy. But it could be a thing where you may be lucky enough to have the kind of support or whatever it may be to kind of get off that drug, and you see certain things or certain behaviors that you was exhibiting beforehand, you still see it now without the drug, and you might think, that wasn't just the drug then, this might be a bit more than that. Yeah. But I would say that they definitely can mask stuff, but a lot of people also use them as a coping mechanism, so it's a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? Yeah.
I hear that too.
Do you believe that weed is a factor in terms of mental illness? Do you think that it can start, you might not have had anything before, do you think it could start something off?
So just mental health is a light switch. Everyone has a light switch. Everyone has a light switch. It doesn't necessarily go on or off. So certain things may trigger it, and it may be illicit substances. It may be grief. It may be a breakup. It may be moving house. It could be anything, because when you look psychologically, there's certain things that are in like the top 3 factors of life events and life stresses sort of thing that tend to bring on, but can kind of push mental health a little bit more, i.e. grief and stuff like that, and moving house and whatnot. However,
I'm kind of biased to that answer, to be honest, because I look at Rasta people that have smoked weed all their life and they're okay. I believe the type of weed that maybe we get in England, or the type
doesn't
of
help.
weed
That
is being
definitely
manufactured by the people that are
definitely,
because we don't know
it's not pure.
We don't know what's in it.
Exactly. We don't know what's in it.
100%.
So I feel like whatever they are putting in it to give us that buzz, or give people that buzz, it affects something.
Oh yeah,
it must tick something. Because as I said, if you go back to people that are smoking pure refined weed from home, they're fine. Do you understand?
Can I just like piggyback off that? So I get what you're saying, but that kind of goes back to the light switch. Some people turn on and some people turn off, and it just completely and utterly comes down to individual differences. I could smoke the same spliff that you do for a whole year every single day. You could be perfectly fine, but it could trigger something in me, and it's exactly the same thing that we're smoking. Limits. In exactly the same quantities, but we are different, and
our mind mechanisms
exactly,
yeah. I hear that.
Do you recommend medication? Like obviously medication provided by the doctors, for mental health, depression, anxiety. Would you recommend that if someone is struggling that they go and source that?
Right. Personally, for me, I have a problem with taking certain medications from doctors, but I think with the degrees that I have and the knowledge that I have of the neuromechanics of how those drugs work internally puts me off, because I then know how I know how hard it is to then get off of that on a physiological level. Forget wanting to take it. I could stop taking it, my body's going to go through withdrawal. I understand the neuromechanics of it, from the release of dopamine from a presynaptic to a postsynaptic nerve, and the science stuff, basically.
The thing is, but because you have that qualification or that info, it's easy for you to think, you know what, fuck it, I'm not taking that.
100%.
Whereas someone that doesn't have that,
I completely endorse it. I say, if you want to try, you've got to try.
You've got to try.
Yeah, you have to try. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But psychologically speaking, there is evidence to prove that if you take let's say the antidepressants, for an example, you take antidepressants alongside some kind of CBT and / or counselling, dependent on what the problem is.
That was my next question.
It heightens it increases the likelihood of you. I wouldn't say no one's ever a cure. It's about management. Let's be completely honest. But it heightens it increases the likelihood of you getting better and you being able to get on with your life and manage your symptoms a lot easier. So I would never say to someone, never take those. Because in every kind of drug, be it paracetamol or amoxicillin or whatever, there's some kind of side effect, there's some kind of stabilizer, because it has to sit on the shelf for a certain amount of time. And I understand that as people, especially I feel like within 2020, there's a certain level of awakening happening where people are taking more notice about and mental health and your health in general, and what things have in them and what, all of that kind of stuff. However, try it because your mental health comes first. And if that means that you have to take something that you don't necessarily want to for the short term, and you get the long-term benefits of that, of being a happier person and having, some, not I don't want to, for lack of a better word, sanity, with inverted commas, do it. Because it might work for you. It might not work for you, Natalie, but it might work for me. It might be somewhat okay with Ashley, but, it's brilliant for Abigail.
Else,
do you know what I mean?
Different.
You've got to just try it. You've got to try it.
Stuff different.
But I find as well, especially when it comes to mental health, and I guess people within the field will say you put in kind of what you get out to an extent as well. If you are not willing to try, it is then very hard for you to switch certain mindsets, because with mental health, it as much like, you know, obviously a lot of things happen on a subconscious level and a physiological level, but it also is about you wanting to. You have to want to do it.
They say that, but sometimes wanting to do it is also a hard.
Oh God, yeah, 100%.
Because it's like it's like I'm 6'6" and I'm climbing and climbing and trying to come out. Not 6
Oh, okay. I had to ask. I was like, wait, you said that a bit confidently. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to climb myself out, but every time I'm holding on to something, it's crumbling and I'm back to the bottom again. Do you understand?
That is, it's depressing, it's defeat, it's everything. There's so much going on. Of course, you're not going to want it. And that's what mental health is. It's a
fight. It's a battle between you and your goal.
I read a quote. This was some years ago, and it was talking about mental health, and it was talking about I think it was specifically about depression, and it was saying that I'm in a body fighting to survive, battling a mind that's fighting to die, and that has always stuck with me because that is exactly how it feels. And of course, you're gonna have your days where you F it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to take this. I don't want to take that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. It's not going to work. Everyone has that because you're allowed to have that. You are going to have your down days. You don't pack up. You don't unpack and live there. And that's what I always kind of say to people. You don't unpack and live there. You ride your down days and you have your upset moments and you cry and you do whatever you have to do, providing you know you're not using bad coping mechanisms. It's temporary. You have to kind of fight towards it, and I totally understand that it is hard. And I personally find the hardest thing about taking some like any kind of like mental health kind of tablets, i.e. again antidepressants, is especially with antidepressants, for the first 2 weeks you tend to feel worse, which can lead to suicidal thoughts and ideations and self-harm and this, that and the other. And I find, for me personally, me being by myself and living by myself, that was always really scary for me.
Do you not get any form of, you know, like, all right, we're going to put you on this medication for, as you said, 2 weeks or whatever. Do you not get anything in between that? Like
You will get help, but you have to remember, counselling takes a long time, you know.
With the NHS, the NHS isn't so
unless you've got the money,
so
it's
they're just going to give you the medication.
So they give you the medication, be free. And they say to you, like,
they will check in though.
Yeah, well, true checks in.
Oh, well, I've had check-ins. I mean, some of them are a bit crap, but normally, like, you might have a check-in.
That's really scary.
It is. Because if you're completely by yourself with no form of support network whatsoever, we're talking not even your cat or your dog or your neighbour. You have no one. Right. I would be absolutely shit scared, because you know what? I've been in that place where I just want to die. And if that's the case, and I'm already on those medications that have absolutely plummeted my mood even for more, I'm going to do it, and no one's going to know, and I'm not going to sit there rotting in my house for another couple of weeks until the NHS call me and realise that I haven't picked up. Do you know what I mean?
That's
I totally...
really
it's scary. It's scary. It is. But like what they do is then they give you the numbers of Samaritans and whatever else.
Or
and,
they say to you,
and the district nurse and that kind of stuff.
If you're not comfortable, because I know...
I've never been comfortable.
I know this sounds like stupid, but especially within the West Indian community,
100%.
we don't like going to the doctors. We don't like doing certain things. We don't like taking medication.
We have that keep calm and carry on attitude.
So for you to then, I've come to the doctors. You've given me this medication. And you're going to now give me a number to call a stranger? It's bad.
I think the hardest step is even getting to the doctors.
100%.
It takes some...
It's the admittance. The minute you admit that you have a problem,
that's
you have taken the biggest step you can. And a lot of people don't commend themselves for doing that. And that's what really upsets me, because it's like, you feel like it's not a sign of weakness. That is the biggest sign of strength that you can ever have. Because you have been honest with yourself, and you've...
To know that you need help.
You have you've gone through a certain level of introspection to say, do you know what, something's not right. And instead of, the easiest option is to live with it, because the easiest option is to stay within your box and not climb out of it. Of course it is, because it's normal and it's comfortable. Exactly. But the minute that you've taken yourself out of that to do that, and I always say to people, speak to at least one person, because that person knows what's going on, and they can then check up on you, whether you want to talk to anyone or they're going to be on your case.
They'll check up, and if you don't answer,
they know why. They're going to come round. They're going to do all of that. And you might get angry, and you might shout, and you might scream, and you might tell them to F off. At
least they know.
And that's what it is. And that's what it is. Totally agree.
I think that's really fucking scary.
It is. Unfortunately, the NHS is underfunded. A lot of us do, like, we live in fear of
underpaid and overworked.
Literally. Like, I've been diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety and depression. And I got the anxiety and depression from going uni. Like, I freaked out on my first first day
Uni
of
is hard.
I freaked out
Hard.
because everybody made me feel like I was too old to go to uni. Like everybody just bombarded
which I
in my
completely
head,
understand
like,
because normally
it's
people
gonna
are my
be
age.
hard,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
this. Why have you
Yeah.
chosen to do
Yeah.
it now?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Because I wanted
what
to, and this is
yeah,
my life.
what
I have
difference
those
is it
anxieties.
like
Yeah.
if I'm doing it now,
Yeah.
at least I'm
Yeah.
doing it, you know. So I remember
Because a
the
lot of
first
people in my
morning-
class had that same feeling.
And I
yeah.
remember the first day going uni, I'm driving, I'm at Elephant and Castle roundabout, and I physically started vomiting.
Oh,
I had
bless
to get
you.
out of my car,
Oh,
and I'm
no.
vomiting on the floor. Beside me is a bus. I got the people on the bus looking at me.
Oh,
I got the people on the
no.
street looking at me, and I'm just standing in the
Oh,
road
no.
vomiting because I was like
So anxious.
I was
Yeah,
anxious.
bloody
and
hell.
you see from that day,
Yeah.
every Monday and Wednesday or Wednesday and Friday I had uni, my mindset was fucked.
Yeah.
I was shitting myself because obviously with anxiety everybody has a different side
Oh,
effect.
oh God, yeah.
So my side
Yeah.
effects, because I'm just so bad and unlucky,
Yeah.
was shitting myself.
Yeah, which
That
is not the
reality.
one. That is not the one. That is not the one.
That's the reality.
Because I know.
10 by
I'm telling
And the
you
worst thing is, I know you're picky about what toilet you're trying to sit on.
Listen,
So
I did none. My
exactly.
mindset- Listen, every day I was going uni, I had wet wipes, toilet roll, and a bag, and I was adamant.
You're
if I
damn
need to
right.
shit-
Sorry, the bag.
You weren't shitting in the bag, though.
Of course I would have.
Oh
Are you
my
mad?
God.
Where am I going? My uni was in Farringdon.
Oh.
That journey there's no drive-through McDonald's.
So where did you shit in a bag?
If I needed to, I would have. I didn't physically.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because where did you? How do you hold that open? And
I would have been going in my back seat. I would have been parking up my car, going in my back seat, and I would have been doing what I need to do. Do you
Yeah, good
understand?
on you,
Because
girl.
what
Yeah,
do I do? Do I
yeah.
shit myself?
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah,
But
yeah, 100%.
unfortunately for me,
I'd
that
rather go
was
in the
one-
bag.
I'd
Yeah,
go
yeah,
in the
yeah,
bag.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
one of my side effects.
Yeah.
And for long, I enjoyed it, not understanding. And I'm like, nah, this is getting too much because then I even started to get palpitations.
Oh, wow,
And
yeah,
that
that's
used to freak me.
scary.
I was like, no, wagwan. Why am I feeling like this? Why does my chest feel like it wants to come out of my throat, you know? So for me, it was just like, I can't do this anymore. And then I ended up going to the doctors and then they ended up referring me to the anxiety and trauma unit at King's, and I had therapy. And then that's when we spoke about obviously side effects of anxiety. And then I was diagnosed, as I said, with anxiety and depression and then PTSD. I didn't even know I had PTSD. Oh, and mild OCD, which I can
Okay.
kind of get because
Okay.
I'm very finicky when it comes to certain things.
You
Like,
like a routine. You're
Control.
It's a
control
misstructured.
thing.
routine,
Yeah.
structure,
Yeah.
things being in the
Yeah.
right place,
Yeah.
in the right.
Yeah.
Like if you open my cupboards, all my cup handles are to the right hand
Okay.
side.
Okay, cool.
That's just me, you know.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
perfumes
Yeah.
are laid out in size order, high order.
I can be a
This
bit
girl
like
came to
that.
my
I
house
totally
one
get that.
time, tidied my whole room.
Yeah.
Took
Oh.
all the perfumes off the bed, off my dresser, and put them on the bed. And even though she took them off, I put them right back in the same
Yeah.
order because that's how my
That's
mind
yeah,
remembered it. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I would
And that's
never
how you
thought
feel
that was-
comfortable. That's how you
but
feel at
I never
ease.
thought it was
Yeah.
some form of
Of course not.
abnormality.
Yeah.
I just thought,
Yeah.
oh, I'm clean, I'm
Yeah,
tidy, I'm
yeah,
neat.
yeah. You're particular.
You know? Yes, so I didn't think of it like that. So it's kind of mad the things the brain does.
Because when you see OCD, you think, oh, okay, I've got to turn a light switch on and off 6 times or something
Yeah.
like that, because that's normally what you end
That's
up
what you
seeing.
do.
But it can be the most trivial of stuff, as in handles being the
Being
same
clean,
way.
yeah,
Or,
handles
you know,
being
labels
clean,
being around. Yeah, the same
writing
way. Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Yeah.
It's so
yeah.
intense.
Totally agree.
Like, you
It
don't
is.
even think
And it's
about it.
draining.
Yeah,
It's
in the
so
beginning,
draining.
It wasn't draining for me though. It's not until I started going therapy and
Yeah,
they're like,
'cause then you
this is
deep
a
it
normal-
and you're just like, oh, oh, damn.
You're like, oh, I
Yeah.
need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And like I found myself
Yeah.
challenging myself,
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna leave the cups this way.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I would go to
bother
bed
you,
or
wouldn't
I
it?
would sit on the sofa.
And it's in the
and
back
I'm
of your
finding
mind.
myself
Yeah, yeah,
rocking
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
"Nah,
yeah.
Firm it.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah,
It's sharp.
yeah.
No one can see it.
Yeah.
No one's gonna see it but you. And then I'm like, but I'm gonna see it. Right before bed. I've
You
turned
have
the
to
cups
check,
around.
yeah.
I've turned the cups
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Turn the cups around. And I didn't think anything bad of that. I just thought, I just like things a certain way, you know.
But when someone else points it out to you, which is what therapists do, that's their job. It's for them to challenge your thought process, for you to really understand it.
It's kind
you
of
know?
mad though, because even with therapists, it was kind of, sometimes I went to therapy and my therapist would look at me like, am I here for therapy or are you here for therapy? Because I
Really?
would be like, yeah, because I would challenge him, man. I'm like,
Okay.
well, why should I take advice from you? Do you understand? Like, you're human like I am.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
The thing is,
because if that's how you well, then he is not the therapist for you. And what you should have done is change it, because the worst thing you can do is go through therapy with someone that you're
not confident in.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't, because it doesn't help you.
It doesn't.
And then you get that bad experience with therapy and you say, I don't want to go and do it anymore.
The thing is, he was okay in the end because I think he kind of learnt to deal with me.
He understood you a bit more.
He understood because I'm like, how am I coming to you, who is a human just like myself, to get advice when you yourself could be going through your own shit?
Yeah, I totally agree with that though, because I totally agree with that. I totally
get
that.
Shit. We're all human at the end of the day. We all go through shit.
Therapists are not perfect, and a lot of therapists have gone through therapy.
Really?
Yeah, so I spoke to...
I think you need therapy to be a therapist, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you're listening to people's traumas and everything
like
that.
You do. Normally, they have to have some kind of therapy weekly to then discuss what they've gone through and make sure that they're not internalising it or bringing it home. But I was speaking to a counsellor so I have counsellor session every Monday at the moment, and I was saying to him, is this and whatever diagnosis going to hurt my chances? So I want to work with kids, and I want to be a child psychologist, hence the reason why I've done my undergraduate and my master's in what I've done it in, and obviously I want to go on to do my PhD in neuropsychology and my Reader 2. But I did that because I want to be able to work with kids, because I want to be that support figure for kids that I didn't have. And well, I did have eventually in school, because I had mentors and stuff like that, because I've got good grades and everything like that, but I had a troubled period in school and stuff like that. Yeah. So I wanted to just be able to give back a bit and be the person and a bit more that I had, that I know some people need, because if I didn't have that, would I be here today? Do you know what I mean? So I was asking him about that, and he was like, look, we don't let that put you off because you feel like you have a diagnosis. So basically, long story short, a couple of months ago, I got diagnosed with a personality disorder, but it's more so emotionally unstable personality disorder, which, if you know me, hey, kind of, I've never been afraid to say I'm not the most emotionally stable person. I try and work at it, but when I started reading certain things of EUPD, I was like, oh my god, I can't even. Yeah, and that's what hurt me more, because I couldn't refute it, and I knew, okay, cool, and then that pushes you to have to change, and coming out of your box is the hardest part. So I asked him, and I was like, look, with the diagnosis of EUPD and me doing counselling now and me having certain issues that I've discussed with you, is that going to hurt my chances of them being able to help someone in the future and building my career? So, because if that's the case, I'm not going to do a PhD.
It makes no sense. Why
my time?
I'm either going to do 3 years full-time or 6 years part-time. For what reason? To not get nowhere? You're crazy. To be a doctor for what? Because I can't practice nothing. And he was like, no, look, we at... he works for CAMS. He was like, we at CAMS prefer people that have gone through that, because you're more relatable and you can 100%. Build a rapport a lot easier. And it's not just, you're not just, you don't understand the theoretical side, you lived it. You get it. So a lot,
people out because you're a living example of what you're
and a lot of therapists now have that. So so I've done a number of therapies and stuff like that. One of them I did CBT. So now I'm doing full-blown counselling, CBT and cognitive behavior therapy and counselling. Totally different. But my CBT therapist at the time, he was like, prior to doing this is why I got into this, because I had counselling, because I was going through certain problems. So don't ever think that they don't know. I mean, I can't sit here and say every therapist does, but a lot of them do. And I find a lot of people that want to do something to do with counselling, be it adults or children, have had some kind of experience. And that's where a lot of it comes from, because you're like, well, I've had help, I have to help somebody else, because I wouldn't be who I am without that. Where would I be? What? Taking some whatever kind of illicit substances and sleeping on the street?
Prostitute.
Right. Because that's what that.
Like,
what bus?
But this goes to exactly what Natalie was saying, that when she was having her counselling, she wanted to be able to speak to someone that knew what the hell she was going through. Definitely. And that she would challenge. Yeah, which I don't think is a bad thing. And I think if your counsel or therapist, let's just say therapist, if your therapist isn't comfortable with that, then I genuinely believe you need to change, because that is not the person for you. Because if you can't be challenged and then express yourself and explain yourself, because in the end of the day, that is going to help
that's going to help me, and that's going to help my therapy, and that's going to help my healing, because I want to understand that not only do you understand what I'm saying, or whether you know, you might not be able to empathize, but you can at least sympathize with what I'm saying, and you get it, and you're not just reading from the DSM-5, which is the diagnostic manual of psychology sort of thing. And it does. And if you don't have that rapport, then they're not the right person for you, because they are not going to enable your growth. And that's what I find a lot of people are scared to do, is to speak up and say, they're not right for me, you know.
Yeah.
I could do with someone else, because I don't think that, you know, they are.
But a lot of people probably won't, because they're already scared.
Yeah, exactly.
in
No,
terms of
exactly.
what they're
Yeah,
going
100%.
through.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are scared at the length of time they've had to wait to
Yeah,
get the treatment.
because we're talking about 6 to 8 weeks sometimes.
Treatment ain't
Yeah.
instantly.
No.
If I go to my doctors today and I'm like, listen, I'm hearing voices or I don't feel good, they give you a number for talk therapies depending on what borough you live in. I don't know what they do in your borough, but in Southern,
For us, it would be
you
Talk
call-
Wandsworth.
Okay, so they have talk therapy.
Yeah.
You call talk therapy, or the doctors will give you your own referral slip, and it's basically do it yourself.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you want the help, you're doing
Yeah,
it yourself.
you got to do
Yeah,
self-referral
that's it.
form and
You got-
stuff,
I'm not
isn't
gonna
it?
lie.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
after
And
Casey,
it
I
puts
remember
you
they
off.
did that, and I didn't call anyone.
because you
I just
think
dealt
to
with it
yourself,
because
I don't
it's a
wanna
long
have to-
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's daunting.
So
Yeah.
when you do get the help,
thank God
it's
you come
like,
through it.
do I really want to raise suspicions or
Yeah,
raise arms saying
yeah.
that I'm not happy with the person
Yeah.
that's treating me,
Yeah.
to then wait another 2-3 weeks,
Which
with
I
someone
totally
else?
get. I totally
So,
get. Yeah.
It's crazy, yeah.
But with what I feel like a lot of people have to do, you have to be a bit selfish. And I find a lot of people that go through certain things were not selfish, which is kind of why, I can't say not everyone, but let me speak from my personal experience, that I don't like to make people upset or feel like that person hasn't done their job, because I don't then want them to go home and think, oh, I wasn't able to help that person.
But
Because
that's
if that
not
was
what
me,
it is.
no, 100%, because right now it's not conducive to my life
Yeah, it's
and to
not
my
what it
healing.
is.
However, the way my mindset is, I don't want to help her.
You're-
I'm going to put myself
you're
back.
sympathetic
Yeah.
to how you're making them feel, but really
It's about
about
me,
you, it's about
and
you.
they probably would be
I
more
get
than
that.
happy for you to switch if they know
Yeah.
that we are
Yeah.
not I'm not managing to help you. Like the therapist that I have now, every session, do you feel like I've been X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, they
do
do
you
ask.
feel like blah blah blah? Like, is there anything I could
But
do
do you
to
think they're
kind of help
asking
you?
because they care, or
I think
or
it's
it's just
scripted. It's all scripted.
No, do you know what? I get a genuine vibe from the guy that I speak
Really?
to. No, I genuinely do, and he's really nice. And I don't
That's good.
like, you know, I get, obviously they have to ask. I'm not sitting here saying they don't, but he's not just, oh, do you think that
Yeah.
I've done? He's like, you know, are you sure?
Yeah.
Is there anything? Like, he really wants the
To be
feedback.
honest, my therapist was somewhat like that. Like, he was really cool. In the beginning, like, when I said to him, like, I feel like I'm here talking to someone that's most probably going through the same shit
Yeah.
I'm going through, but are you able to help yourself? Do you get it? Because if you're not able to
How
help
you gonna help me?
yourself, how are you
Yeah,
helping
100%,
me?
100%.
And that was always my question to him. Like, he'll be like, and how was your week this week? And I was like, fine. And how was yours? How was your wife?
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
just
How was-
defensive.
Basically, that's
Yeah.
how I came
Give the man a
across.
break.
You know?
I want to make sure you can do what I need you to do.
I get that, yeah.
I kind of know
But
what's
can I
wrong
just
with
ask,
you,
is that
so
a bit
I
of
need-
deflection because you don't want to talk about or deal with your
I
issues at
think
the
that
time?
100%.
that was a lot of the things.
Which is something
and I
you
feel
then
like-
have to work on, and he would have to work on with you.
He
Sorry, babe.
did work on
Yeah.
it with me because
Yeah.
he drawed things out
Yeah.
of me. That
And that's what they're there
I
for.
didn't even
That's
know
what they're there for.
Was
Yeah.
there? He
Yeah.
highlighted things
Yeah.
that I was like, right.
That you've overlooked, that he's pulled up and said, oh,
thing
by the
is,
way.
it's not even so much that I overlooked
Okay.
it. I saw it, but
Yeah.
I put it to
You
the
put it back in
of
your
my
mind.
Okay.
to deal
Denial?
with because
Out of sight, out of mind.
Or
yeah,
just,
so
oh,
much
okay,
denial,
okay.
so much of, all right, I don't know my dad.
Yeah.
And for many years, I've been questioning.
Like,
who's
at
my dad?
all, or-
Where's my dad? I don't know my dad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah? Don't
Okay,
know him.
literally,
So for
okay.
years, I'm like, okay, who's my dad? Where's my dad?
Yeah,
Where's he live?
that's a
Blah,
lot.
blah.
That must be
So
a lot.
It is. So
Yeah.
because I've never got the answers that's
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, it was just like, okay, my granddad is my dad.
Yeah.
Because he did everything.
Which is
that
great.
needed
At least
to
you
be
had
done.
him.
Do you
Yeah,
understand?
You had a
yeah,
father
But
yeah.
at the same time, he's not my dad.
Of course,
If
of course.
something happened to me today and I needed blood and my mum's blood
Yeah,
didn't match
yeah,
mine, or
you
my
need your
brother's
dad
blood,
or
Yeah,
their
I would
family.
need
Yeah,
a
100%.
family
Yeah, of
member.
course, of course.
Who is that person?
Of course, yeah.
What happens to me?
Yeah.
I'm then dead.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
things would or did go through my
Of
mind
course.
at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like for a long time, I somewhat suppressed it because I'm like, okay, I'm not getting the answers I want. What do I now do with this? What do I do with it?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And
Because
sometimes the easiest thing is pack it in a box and pack it away and that's it. Yeah,
What am I supposed to
100%.
do with it?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do I do with it?
Because
What do
it's
I
just
do?
gonna make me stressed out, and I can't live
and
like
that's what
that.
it was.
Yeah,
So
totally
for a long
agree.
period of time, I was like, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm done. So when I went therapy and he's drawing all of this out of me, I'm like, raw. I actually haven't gotten over this shit. But I need to, because he then taught me that sometimes some things in life you will never get answers to.
Oh God, yeah, 100%.
And you just need to accept that there are no answers to them and just keep moving on.
Yeah.
And I think when it came to that point, when I heard him say that, I was like, well, I've already done this. So you drawing it out on me made no sense. But I understand now, coming from someone that has a higher qualification than myself. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Not even gonna lie. It's just
Oh
hard
God,
to try
it
and
is.
just do what they want you to do. Put
It
in a
is
box
so
or
hard.
deal with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I understand. Everything you said makes sense.
Because
It's mad.
like that's what we were saying about, you know, you just have to kind of accept it and move on. And that's when I was saying to you earlier that the whole the CBT guy, and he was like, look, acceptance and approval is two different things. You can accept something without approving of it, and you have to be able to differentiate the two. And you know what, that he told me that a couple of years ago, and that has stuck with me, because, and I don't think you understand, everyone that goes through it, acceptance and approval is two different things. Like, I'm literally there always saying it to people, like, oh, it's two different things. Like, make sure you whatever, because sometimes I think we struggle to different. We're not perfect. We're human, you know, and we struggle to differentiate stuff. And it's like, well, I don't accept it, so how can I approve it? But it's like, but you don't have to. You have to accept it, because if someone makes a decision to say, I don't want you in your life, my life, sorry, you have to approve. Yeah, you might not approve, but you have to accept it, because that's their decision. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that really, really stuck with me. So I totally get what you're saying.
I hear that.
Do you know when you are having or gonna have an episode? Can you feel an indication of...
Yeah. Oh, God,
I feel shitty. I have no vibe to do anything. I eat, or I overeat, or I don't eat. I think I start to think a lot. I start to ruminate. It's like I'm just put in a black box, and I'm just sat here overthinking, thinking, and it's like, okay, I need to stop now. Because if I don't, I'm going to keep thinking. And then when I keep thinking, it fucks up my mood. And it's literally like me against the world. My vibe is off with everyone. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll go times where I don't even message you, or I'll message you, or you'll be like, love you, big head. Because you know.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
literally, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like...
sometimes I know that everybody just needs
some
their
bloody space. Yeah. Yeah. People just
matter
need some
how much you
space.
love
Mind you,
Yeah.
I ain't getting no space. I've got 2 kids, I ain't getting no space. But,
It's
but
true.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it to both of you.
Yeah,
Every now and again, I just say, love ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's all you need.
That's what it is. Sometimes you just need that. You wake up, I love you. I was like, aw, and then cute. Like, and do you know what? I'm like that. Like, I message like, oh, I love you, just to say like I love you, and I'm probably crying or something like that.
You know,
but it's nice. It's nice. Like I'm like you. Like I know when I find with me it's peaks and troughs. So I know if I'm kind of peaking, that drop is coming, and I've got to prepare for that, because when my drop comes, it comes disgustingly.
But
It
that's
is
kind of sad.
100%.
Because,
How am I ever going to be happy
yeah.
without thinking something's going to
Gonna
drop?
go
And,
wrong.
and that's the issue that I'm facing now, because it's hard, because then I've got to kind of break myself out of that mindset of, oh, just because I'm happy, I'm going to be sad. Because, do you know what? There might be a time in life where
you
I am
just
just
have to be
happy. And I just have to ride that without thinking, oh, it's going to come. Oh, it's going to come. Oh, be prepared. Oh, be prepared. And it's
Yeah.
like, then you kind of
Because then
make
you're giving
it
yourself-
happen.
so you're giving
It's like you're telling the universe to send badness.
Exactly.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I could be really, really happy, and it's like, it's crazy because everybody around me sees what I don't see. Like, even the other day, I spoke to a friend. His name's Anthony, and he was like, "You don't realize how lucky you are and how blessed you are." And when he's saying it, I'm like, "What the fuck
No,
do
I'm
you
not.
know?"
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
no,
of course.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But you got me, but you
But
You're cheeky, but okay.
but when you kind of hear someone
rate yourself
say
a bit
it
too
and
highly.
you're looking through life, and
rate
you're like,
me,
but
I
I'm
can't rate
not seeing
myself.
this. So it's like you kind of have to find that point where you're like able to say, do you know what? I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
I have life.
Totally
I have
agree.
a home, I have a job, I have people that love me, I have people that care.
Preach it.
Yeah, literally,
Yes,
yeah.
preach
And they're the
it.
things
Yeah.
that kind of.
But you get over. They're the things that get overlooked because they're everyday stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But not to everybody.
Not
No,
to everybody
exactly,
hasn't.
exactly. But to us,
it's just
it's every day.
just-
So it's it's whatever.
It's like, this bitch
I've had a
doesn't love
house.
me.
I've had a car. I've had a
car.
job. It's
This-
whatever.
This
is
is
normal.
what I've been doing
yeah,
since I was
yeah,
15.
yeah.
So
Exactly,
me having all these
exactly.
things-
It's nothing new.
What's
It's nothing
different?
great. What's
Do you know what
next?
it is? It's taking it for granted.
100%.
Yeah,
1000%.
And that's one thing I've promised myself I won't do anymore.
You won't take me for granted.
Bitch, I'll always take you for granted. Always.
That's
She's a
okay.
chef.
That's
You know
okay.
me.
Yeah, we come here for food, and that is it.
That's it.
Yes, literally. She came
Listen,
through
I
the
was about to
door.
get real upset because I thought there weren't no food for me, and I can't eat no
Oh,
fish.
my God, I'm
And I got promised food. I was meant to message her. I heard a rumor there's gonna be food, bitch. Where's it
sorry.
at?
And guess what?
I didn't
The
bring the
person that
food.
promised the food didn't make the food.
No, she didn't. She
I
come
did
in with
make
her
the
empty
food.
hand and
I
her
did
long
make
belly.
the food, but the food was
It's in your house.
long.
It's in your house.
Cook.
It's in
So
your
it's
house.
not
So it's not
here.
here. You didn't
It's
make the
thought
food.
that counts. I'm giving you lot the fault.
But alright, cool. But my belly can't eat thoughts. So how does that work?
Clearly it
Yeah.
can. Maybe we should be.
Maybe we should because I
be.
need some motherfucking weight. Shit. But yeah, no.
Do you think men?
Yes. Sorry, yes. Because yes.
I know. Well, I got that 2 in 1 kind of thing. Do you think that men, as I said about West Indian people who don't go to the GP, whatnot anyway, but men especially
100%.
will kind of put it on the back burner,
Yeah.
do not want to admit to certain things.
Because they have to be strong and they can't be vulnerable and they have to, they have to be the rock of the family and they have to be in control and everything has to go well because I'm the man and I'm macho. And
Now,
it's
do you also
so
think
upsetting.
that us as women
100% have endorsed that?
Yes.
Yep, and society.
Like,
because as
we don't-
men are the breadwinner. Men are the breadwinner and men have to do
Because
stuff.
this is what I'm trying to instill in my son. I'm trying to make
because
sure
that must be quite
that
hard.
he's able to express himself.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's okay for him
And that
to
is so
cry.
important.
And it's okay
Yeah,
for him to speak
yeah,
to me
yeah.
and talk about his feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bloody hard because he never wants to talk about anything.
I must say now,
But-
nowadays, with everything going on in the world and people being a bit more expressive and, be it sexuality, gender, whatever it is, people are more expressive and more open with themselves. It's not, 1966, where men have to be strong and women are at home and baking bread and whatever.
I think we
men
both have to be strong.
Yeah.
I
100%.
It really pisses me off that this idea of men just
Yeah,
have to
men
be
don't
strong.
cry. I hate that narrative.
We
I
all
hate
need to be
it.
strong for each other.
Yes,
I agree to
yes.
disagree with some of your points because I do feel like, as a whole, men are very, if they feel pain, they're not going doctors.
Yeah, that's why I said.
But I feel like that is society that has conditioned you to know that you are
then
strong
I
and you can
also
handle it by
believe
yourself, which
that
isn't
if you had
true.
good upbringing or good parents or good support, that would push you to want to. Does that make sense?
I get you.
Like, I get
Yeah.
the points you're making.
Yeah.
and they're
This is why I said
wholeheartedly
about West
true.
Indians because
Yeah.
us as a black community
We don't
just
do it.
don't go doctors.
go.
We
Don't
just
do it.
don't
I
go.
agree, but then if you have someone pushing you and saying, do you know what? I don't like the way you're behaving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like. Do you
yeah,
understand?
yeah.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
showing signs
Yeah.
of X, Y, Z.
But
Yeah.
then
Do
you
you
have
or
another,
can you?
but you have another factor of if I'm going to keep saying that to you, then you might start staying away.
Yeah.
Because they don't
And
want
that
to
is
deal
the-
with
and
it.
that is the flip
Because
side.
that
And
is
that
the
is the
flip
flip
side.
side, yeah.
Or I'm going to try and self-medicate
Yeah.
to make sure that these
Yeah.
things that
And
I
that is
am doing
The
are
worst
stopping.
thing you can do.
I agree.
That is the
I
worst
just
thing you
feel
can
like
do.
as a
That's why I
whole,
say
though,
Yeah.
you need to make sure that when you are growing your children,
They can talk to you.
They can talk
and they're
to you
comfortable and, there's
you
no
can-
judgment. All of that. Yeah,
Exactly.
totally agree.
I mean,
Totally
don't get
agree.
me wrong. There are times where I've been like, oh, okay, you acting like a wuss. But,
Oh, I don't like that word. I don't. I think that's a bit because it's kind of like.
dude, sometimes he's acting like a wuss.
I mean, I've seen him. I know.
Right.
But I mean, like, oh, I
But
don't like that
I
word.
don't want him
But
to
I get
feel
it. I get
like
it.
he has
I get
to
it.
be strong all the time.
And that's why I said I don't like that word
Yeah.
because it makes you feel like, oh, you have to be macho, and it's like, what the fuck is macho?
But not all the time.
No, and that's why I say
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
say to him sometimes he's acting like a wuss, but another time I will be saying to him, it's okay for
Yeah.
him to act a certain
Act
way.
a certain way.
Let me tell you
okay.
something.
You need to have-
I
you need
love
to
being
have
able to
feeling.
meet a man that is able to express himself, and if he wants to cry, he will cry because he is secure
nothing
within
wrong with
himself and his sexuality and his masculineness or whatever you want to call it, that he is okay to
There's
be upset
nothing wrong
and be
with it.
cry and to express himself.
We're
Because like you
human.
said, there is nothing wrong with it. We are human and we are emotional beings, and this is why
If you ain't got no emotions, then
I don't want to be around you, bitch.
I'm scared.
I don't know you.
Because you could.
You are callous and you might kill me.
You took the words out of my mind, out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's
Literally,
it.
you might
That's
be able to
it.
kill me in my
Yeah,
sleep.
I'm not really here for that. But I like a man like, okay, cool, no one wants their man or a woman, regardless of whatever sex you are, to
With
be
no
crying
emotion.
24/7, or then on the flip side, like you said, to have absolutely no emotion. I want you to be able to say, I am upset because.
Yeah.
And then we deal with it together as a partnership, as a couple, as friends, as family, whatever it is. You need to be able to say to me, oh, I'm not happy, or I'm upset, or do you know what, this really upsets me, and whether you cry, I'm not going to look at you and be like, fix up, you need to be a man. But I think that's another thing where, as women, and, you know, grow, like, women, mothers, whatever it is, oh, you can't cry, you're a man, you have to be strong. Yeah. And that is instilled in them from so young. Young. Men don't cry, boys don't cry, and it's like, it's that whole double standard of girls can cry, but men can't, or men can do whatever they want with women, but girls can't do that with men. Do you know what I mean? It's that whole double standard, which is a whole other conversation, which is that whole double standard, and it's like, you instill that from young, and then what do you expect when the child grows up and thinks, you know, that he's got that stiff upper lip and keep calm and carry on?
Doesn't know how to express it.
Exactly. You have to be able to come out and say it. And I remember in psychology, I remember doing an essay about this actually, and it was specifically about ethnic minorities and mental health. It was part of my mental health module.
Okay.
And it was, and you know, we covered it saying, you know, well, why ethnic minorities not as open and not as whatever? And I think comes from that we have to be strong.
Yeah.
Because our background as ethnic minorities is being strong, because we have no choice to be strong, because we have been under oppression and we have been taken advantage of. Racism, slavery. You name it, we've been through it. People have gone to their countries and raped and pillaged their women.
Yeah.
You have to be strong because you have to rebuild. Because if you're not strong, where do you go? Where is your future? What happens? You have to be able to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and carry on. But we push that into kids sometimes. Sorry, babes. We push that into kids sometimes. And it's like, well, no, hold on a minute. If you are upset or you've banged your knee and it really fucking hurts, you better cry, bitch. Cry and get it out. No, but get it out of your system.
Get it out.
And then you boss up and say, you know what, I'm all right now. Let me bang a 2-2 deep heat and go about my business. Do you know what I mean? No.
But that's why I feel like a lot of men are afraid to go seek help as well, because
1000%.
of their upbringing.
1000%.
And that's why
I think ethnic minorities in general.
I think
we don't believe in mental health.
don't wanna put
There's no
race.
depression. You're just upset.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just upset today. You
Yeah.
need to get over it.
Yeah.
Have a cup of tea and you need to do
100%.
this and well, if your life was better, if you had a better job, or if you did this, or if you did that, it's like, no, maybe I'm just upset
100%.
because in my mind there's some kind of fucking chemical imbalance that I cannot control, and I am upset and I need help. And I've come to you as an outcry to say, please fucking help me. And you've told me you're fine.
Yeah.
What else am I meant to do? Oh, okay, I'm fine. Who else am I going to talk to? Because it's embarrassing now. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
And it's probably
because I look
taken
wet.
so
I look,
much.
I look weak.
To
get
come
to that point.
right?
Weak.
To
You
come
made
to
me
someone and say to them, I have a problem is oh my God, to me that shit makes me cry, because that is the biggest
step.
It's the biggest step, and it's
acceptance.
the biggest acceptance, it's the biggest step, it is the biggest showmanship of strength I have ever seen. And then to sit there and fucking cry about it, I'm gonna hug you and I'm gonna tell you it's alright, and I'm gonna wipe your tears, and what the fuck we gonna do next?
Yeah.
How are we gonna solve this?
We're gonna get help.
I'm not gonna tell you need to man up. Get the fuck out of here.
Do you think okay, so it's a situation
That really upsets me.
that
Sorry, I really get touched by that.
there's a situation where someone weaned himself off of drugs, blah blah blah, but then realised manic depression and then was hospitalised.
Okay, I didn't get the question. I'm so sorry.
No, this is the question.
Oh, sorry.
Do you think now that they have put themselves in a different bracket in terms of mental illness, because they've been on drugs?
Yeah.
They didn't realise they were depressed, and now they've gone straight from there to having to be sectioned.
So what do you mean in different brackets? Sorry, you know me, I'm a bit slow. You got to elaborate for me, bitch.
Well, they never knew they had a mental illness. So now they've been themselves.
As in, do they not deserve help, or do they?
Yeah.
Of course, they fucking do. Listen, addiction.
A lot of people will think they
No,
don't.
that is absolutely disgusting. Addiction is something that I literally had this conversation for about 4 hours with my best friend yesterday.
A lot of people don't, though.
About this, right? Because we was talking about some film, and we was talking about it, and it's like addiction. I don't care what you're addicted to. You might be addicted to crack. You might be addicted to heroin. I might be addicted to coke. No, I'm not going to say coke. I might be addicted to sex, let's say, because it's completely different. Addiction starts and ends in the brain, because it is about, I don't want to go into it too much. I don't want to get too sciencey, because you know me, I'm always here for a science lesson. But I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes explaining. But it's like, your brain and, you know, your body, physiologically speaking, you emit certain hormones, your body gets used to those set hormones, and then it then wants more, and then it craves more, because normally if you have too much, it stays in the presynaptic cleft, and it gets sucked back up, and it gets ready for use next time. But then what happens with addiction is your neurotransmitters, your neuroreceptors, get, you know, you have more of them, basically. So you might start off with 5, and then your addiction, as your tolerance increases, it goes from 5 to 10, which means you now need more stuff, or more dopamine, or more oxytocin, or more serotonin, or whatever. And then that's the addiction right there, because you want more, you need more. And it's like, regardless of what you're addicted to, it starts and ends in your brain, and it's physiological. So and a lot of people that are addicted are in denial, because as far as they are concerned, I can fix it. And a lot of the time they don't turn around and say to someone, oh, guess what, Ash? I'm addicted. Because they don't want to hurt you. Yeah. Because they're thinking, oh my God, if I can do it by myself, I don't have to get anyone involved, which means I don't have to hurt anyone, and no one else is going to judge me, and whatever. But you're not going to say to me, because you've been on drugs, or because you've been, you've been raped, or whatever it might be, that, you know, no, let's take out rape, because that's a completely different situation where somebody else has taken something from you. Let's just say drugs, right? You've been on drugs, and you've sat in a crack den for 20 days out of a month, that you still don't deserve help with your mental health. Of course you fucking do. Because what you'll probably end up doing there is you are trying to self-medicate and find a way to deal with your problems without involving anyone else, because you don't want to hurt anyone. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to addiction in itself. And people are like, oh, but they're selfish. It's like, do you not understand that? Okay, I understand if you're on the receiving end of someone with an addiction, i.e. an alcohol addiction. If you are the child of an alcoholic, of course it's going to be bloody hard for you. And you can't, unless you've been there, you can't really fathom how bad it is to be the child or the partner or whatever it is of someone that is addicted to a substance. However, that person that is addicted is, you know, they have their own trials and tribulations. And a lot of the time they don't want to upset anyone else, or bring anyone else, or burden anyone else, and stuff like that. So what, just because you've tried to self-medicate, let's say with crack, you don't deserve help? Everyone deserves help. Everyone deserves help. I don't care what situation you're in, because you know what, you've all had different life experiences from me. So who the hell am I to tell you you don't deserve it just because you've gone about it in the wrong way? We've all made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, and every mistake is a fucking lesson, and we have to live with that. And that is, life is about gaining experience. And that is it. What else do you have when you die except for a bunch of experiences? You don't have anything. So me taking crack at the age of 18 might make me a millionaire at 30. Because I've had that experience. I've been in a fucking gutter. And I know I don't want to be there. So do you know what? I am going to build myself up. I don't know if you know the backstory of Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man.
No.
So
he had depression.
He was addicted to drugs, and you know, he started doing acting and stuff like that. And what happened was he kind of got blacklisted because of his drug addiction sort of thing. And I think it was prior to him doing Iron Man. I think it might have just been as he got cast doing Iron Man, which is what, yes, it is. But he uses an analogy in Iron Man where he's like, oh, you know, he always says, I love cheeseburgers. And I don't know if you watch Endgame. She's like, I love you 3000. She's like, I want cheeseburgers at the funeral. Because Iron Man always said he likes cheeseburgers. Because Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., one time sat in his car, fucked up on wherever the hell he's on, sat there and looked at his Burger King and was absolutely disgusted that he's sitting here eating this stale burger, and that was the kick he needed to come off his drugs and sort his life out.
Wow.
A burger.
Yeah, because he was just disgusted that this is my life. I'm sitting there with a bag of drugs. He threw all his drugs in I think he was sitting like near the lake or sea, whatever it was. He threw all his drugs over the bridge, threw the food over the bridge, and he said, yeah. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna get clean. And he went and done Iron Man. And look at him now. Look at him now. So that's someone that has come from that to, mate. How
was
much
a
is he worth?
multi-millionaire.
Right. And he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah, he
and
is, he
people
is.
prior to that, he had done films and would hire him because he was problematic, because he was on drugs. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, how dare you tell me that because you're on drugs and what, you're going to look down your nose at me? You're out
But
of
I
order.
think a lot of people
No, they
do.
They do, because you're judgmental as fuck. And what I'm sorry, I get really upset about this because it's like you can't judge someone because you haven't been in their shoes.
Yeah,
and I
you haven't
understand.
experienced it,
Yeah, I understand you might not agree, and that's perfectly fine. You have every right not to agree with somebody else's life decisions, but they've done it, and you need to accept that. And if you are going to be in their life and they want to make a difference in their life and they want to make a change, then you support them, and that's it. Why would you not? You can't. If you keep looking down your nose at someone, how is that helpful?
It's not.
If
You're
everyone
just
judges
putting them back in the spiral that they're in,
as humans,
rather
we
than
all
trying to help
judge.
them out.
We all judge. No one. There's nothing like, what do they say? First impressions are formed in the first 10, 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
We all judge. That's a judgment.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I say to people is, it's okay to have a judgment, but your judgment should be
preconception of
subjected
someone,
to change.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
You're not
stick,
open.
yes,
You need to be open.
Yes, if you are not open to that judgment changing, thinking, oh, actually, I thought you was a bitch. I mean, I can't say that because I've known you in my life. But do you know what I mean? Like we're family. But if all right, you two meeting.
Yeah.
You've seen it. Oh God, I thought she was a bitch. And then you have one conversation and she's all teeth and all smile. I mean, she's all teeth anyway. But no, she's all smiles and whatever. And you're like, oh my God, do you know what?
She's
You
really
look
nice.
horrible,
Yeah,
but
I
you were
was
lovely.
wrong.
I was wrong. And then you are now happy to have a friendship or carry on with that because you've now accepted that, oh, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. My judgment wasn't correct. But I find a lot of people are,
Don't accept.
oh, they're a druggie. I don't want to be with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But how do you know that that person might be on, let's say, coke? Because coke is it's a drug that a lot of people take. I personally haven't. I'm not going to say I wouldn't.
I ain't taken
But,
drugs.
like, I personally... No, I'm one of the people where I kind of try everything once. I mean, not crack or heroin. That's a bit too far. But, no, that's a bit too far.
I'm too scared,
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
but don't get me wrong. Like, like I said, I think life is for experiences. But I personally haven't taken it. I know a lot of people that have. I'm not going to sit here and judge you. And if you need help
It's your
with
choice.
certain issues, because there's a few people that I know of that I said, oh, do you know what? I feel like, at some point in time, I had a problem with cocaine. Because... It's a party drug. Everyone takes
Everybody
it.
takes
I'm still
it.
going to help you. I might not agree with the fact that you had an addiction to that and it's a class A drug, but I'm not going to help you and I'm going to judge you and think you're a druggie for that. No, everyone makes mistakes. And if you don't make mistakes, you are not going to be who you are. And if you don't make mistakes and learn from them and lessons and all of that kind of stuff, how do you grow? You don't grow. Do you get what I mean? So it's like you can't sit there and be like, oh, because this person is this or they drink too much. Because then it's like, okay, well, what is a druggie? What is an alcoholic? Because someone might look at me and think, oh, you have a glass of wine a week, you're an alkie. It's very subjective.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and who the fuck gives you the right to say someone doesn't deserve help? And if you've got that kind of mindset, you better stay real far from me, please, because I'm not about that. If you're not open-mindedness is a big thing for me, because everyone messes up. We're human. That's what we do.
I agree.
Is suicidal thoughts or self-harm, is that just a given when you have a mental illness?
No, sorry, I was straight out the gate there. I didn't even give no one a chance. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I just feel like I'm kind of taking over your show. I'm trying to sit here and shut up, and I'm like, no, I have to say it.
But that's
You
why
had
you're
the
here.
experience.
That's
Yeah,
why
I know.
you're here. That's why
I
we
know.
asked you.
Everybody has some form
That's
of
why I'm
something.
quiet.
I know, but I don't just
I'm
want to talk, and
learning.
everyone's like, "Why is this girl still talking?" Like,
No,
do you know what I
but
mean?
this is
But
the
yeah.
point of our
This
show
is
is
how
that
Yeah.
we want.
No, I get it.
wanna
I get it.
learn,
Yeah, 100%.
We want to teach.
And you want to educate. Yes.
And we want to educate.
Yeah,
I'm being
100%.
educated right
Yeah.
now, so
I'm learning
I'm
too.
quiet because I'm taking it all in.
Oh, that makes you feel a bit better. Thank you. I don't feel as bad. Listen, I know why you invited me on here, bitch, because you already know. But no, just factually and psychologically speaking, not every mental health issue does include self-harm or suicide. I found out the other day that when I got diagnosed with the EUPD, that actually my suicidal ideations or self-harm is actually attributed more to that than it is depression, and she was quite surprised. I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, and it was like, you know, the fact that it's constant and it's gone on for years, that is more akin to EUPD as opposed to depression. And I was like, oh, well, that's something I learned in uni, and that's something new I learned. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know that. So like, yeah, not everyone that has a mental health issue will self-harm. Some people just don't. But it comes down to with I don't know about you lot. I don't really like to say I self-harm, but I have done, so I can't really hide it. Oh my God, this is like the first time I've ever openly kind of said that. Oh, I forgot to cry.
Don't cry, for God's sake, because you'll make me cry.
Get you to open up.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
Oh my God, please.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
You got lashes, come on, girl.
I know, oh my God, yes, I've got lashes. Let me.
It doesn't.
Let me suck it out.
All of us deal with shit differently.
Yeah. It's a coping mechanism. It is.
Literally.
And it's just a really, really fucked up one.
Fortunately.
Yeah, it's just a really, really messed up coping mechanism that, you know, I have had, and is something that I have been trying to overcome. And will I sit here and say I have overcome it? Hell no. I now want to get a tattoo, and oh my God, I haven't. So I know it's a little tangent, but like, let me just tell you what I want to do with my arm. So obviously, to cover my scars and stuff, I want a Marvel arm. Yeah, you know, bitch. I saw the eye roll.
She's a neat.
Yes, I want a whole Marvel arm.
You want a sleeve?
I want a whole sleeve.
Well,
I want two sleeves.
Harry Potter.
No, I won't have Harry Potter. That's a bit too far. I mean, maybe, but no. So I like fantasy, and I that's my thing. So I want one arm of Marvel. Yeah, I see you about to talk, bitch. Shut up. I want one arm of Marvel and one like DC arm, because I like comics and stuff like that, and I like pictures. And on my back, I want my whole back done as well, coming down to like my bum near my hips bit, and then I'd kind of stop, maybe. But like my back, I'm a big animal person, and I've got animals and stuff like that already on my back. Yeah, I know you like, bitch. What? You're really gonna put that on yourself? Listen, that Marvel arm would be fucking sick. Are you crazy? Captain America, the Hulk,
You're gonna feel
Iron
great.
Man, Black Widow. I'm gonna feel like the fucking shit.
You're gonna feel liberated because
because I can
like
wear
your war wounds.
I can, and like, don't get me wrong, I will probably have like the little semicolon for depression. I don't know if you know what that sign means. It means things like you feel like it stops, but it carries on. So like I might have the semicolon and stuff like that, and I might put, like, as fucked as it sounds, like a little razor somewhere, because that's my reminder.
Yeah, it's just your
that's
reality.
for me. But do you know how liberated I would feel to be able to go out in a short sleeve top? I haven't. Oh my God, sorry. I haven't been able to do that for years, and that has been one of the hardest things for me.
Oh, don't cry, big
It's
ass.
okay. That has been one of the hardest parts for me, because it's like, I do that, and my scars are really obvious, and they're really big, and it's like, people are going to judge me, and it's embarrassing. And
you think people will judge you?
I was going to say.
No, that's what I feel like. Yeah.
You think.
Do you understand?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily true.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if I saw someone with scars, I would not automatically think self-harm.
Yeah.
That's
Still,
my mindset.
even
You know
if I
what,
did
it's-
think,
yeah.
but even if I did,
none of
I
my
would.
business.
One, it's none of my business, but maybe I would think she's been through shit, but she's here.
But she's here.
She's here.
So I don't think you should think like that.
No, I get it, but obviously because it's on my body, it's harder.
Yeah, it's
Because I mean, I
harder.
remember even the doctor was like, "Oh, what happened there? Like, you know, you look like you had stitches," and I was like, "No." And it was like, "You didn't go to the hospital for that?" Because my scars are, well, you've seen them, you saw them today.
Keloids, yeah.
They are, no, they're not like keloid, but they're massive, because when I say to you, it cut so deep. And I as fucked up as it sounds, I had a thing where, I don't want to say had or have, I don't really know what's present or past tense, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm completely over it, because
You don't know what tomorrow brings.
exactly.
You are dealing with everything day by day, week by
I
week.
can go a long time without self-harming, because I can talk myself out of it
Out
now.
of it.
And it's a thing where, like, people are like, "Oh, I don't understand why you'd hurt yourself." And it's like, because if
Because
I
of
hurt
pain.
me, no one else can hurt
one
me.
else, yeah.
And as fucked up as that, it's so wrong, and it's so irrational. But
it
that's
makes
it's
sense.
control.
It makes
It
sense.
is
to
control.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
control.
Because you
it's
show
control.
yourself how strong you can be by
Yeah,
hurting
yeah,
yourself.
and no one else
So
can touch
no
that.
one else
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
I get
yeah.
that
It's a
wholeheartedly,
control
I get
thing,
it.
and I know that I have an issue with control, and going through counselling, that's something I've had to relinquish, because I'm not gonna have a relationship if I can't.
You can't.
If I can't relinquish control,
can't.
I can't do that. And yes, I have people in my life, and all of my friends that have been in my life, majority of them are over 10 years. So they are not used to that, but they've been there with me through that, and they get me and I get them. But it's like, okay, cool, I might not walk into that. So I need to be able to deal with that. Do you know what I mean? And like when it comes to self-harm, I think that's a big issue that not a lot of people understand, because if you don't do it, you don't get it. And I completely understand it, because it's completely alien, it's completely taboo. It's like, why the fuck would you cut yourself? That don't make no sense. You're just hurting yourself. But it's like, I can hurt me, but you can't hurt me. And it's like, it's me showing myself that I am strong. And it's not, but in my warped mentality at that point, that's how I'm thinking. It's like, well, fuck you, you're not gonna hurt me, I'm just gonna do it myself. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, it's so mad, because I can sit there and I can just watch it trickle, and I'm in a daze, you know. I don't move. I don't move. I'm zoned out. It doesn't even hurt. Sometimes I've had a drink and I've had a couple of drinks, and sometimes I'm full blown sober, and I'll grimace and it will hurt, because it's razors, isn't it? Like I don't really use knives or anything. It's always been a razor, because I take out my weave and whatever, so it's easier. It's in my house to the point where I've refused to buy razors. So if I take my hair out, I'm gonna have to use a blunt motherfucking razor. I ain't got a choice, because I know I at this point in time,
trying to eliminate.
I don't trust myself. I buy a sharp razor. That is it, and I know, and that's another reason why I want to get the tattoo, or get the sleeve, because I know if I have that there, because it's art now, it's different, you know.
And this is beautiful.
Yeah, exactly, because I can't wear. It's summer. It's 32, 34, 36 degrees. More time. You see me, what have I got on? A long sleeve top? Unless I'm cut today, I don't think I've ever taken my jumper off around you. No. But I was hot. I was hot in the garden, and I thought, I'm going to sit here and talk about mental health. How the fuck can I turn around and be a hypocrite now? And it was hard. And it's like, do you know what the hardest thing is? People asking questions. Kids asking questions. It's the hardest thing. Yeah.
Because now you're like, how do I explain?
Yeah. I don't tell them that I self-harm, because I don't want to put that in their mind.
Yeah, that is.
So I say I punch through glass normally, or I hit something and it was barbed wire or something like that, because it makes sense. As they're older, they're gonna think she's talking shit. But do you know what I mean? At this moment in time, it works. It works, because I don't want to put that in your head, and that's not fair. And I'm around a lot of kids where, why did you do that? I remember one time, this was a few years ago, and this guy that I lovely guy, you know, I don't know if he's going to hear this, but if he does, you're nice, I like you. Just to put it out there. Like, lovely guy I went to primary school with, and he had left, but funny enough, he's like, you know, good friends with my best friend's brother. Well, he was, I don't think he is now, but he was. And I remember it was really, really hot summer. Obviously, my best friend's brother already knows what my arm looks like and whatever. I mean, he's like my brother. He is my brother. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's my brother, innit? My best friend is my sister. That's family. Yeah. So them man, I have to ask no questions, because they already know what I'm going. And he was like, bro, what happened to your arm? And obviously I've got a tattoo in the other one, innit? So I'm trying to play it off, because I don't really want to answer that question. It's awkward. And I'm kind of like, oh my God, have some fucking compassion and don't ask me them fucking questions. Like, and he's like, no, that one. And I was like, what do you think? Because what else can I say? You're not fucking stupid. You're asking me the question when you already know the answer. And
but maybe
like,
you genuinely didn't.
No, I hear that, but I didn't know what else to say. So I was like, well, what do you think, innit? It's me, right? I had a hard life. And he was like, right, like that. I said, yeah, like that. He was like, that's it. I respect it still. He's like, sorry to hear that, innit? Do you get me? And don't get me wrong, the conversation was over and done with as quick as that. But it's the that sat with me. It's hard.
He asks. And that's the thing. Sometimes I feel like as humans we're not compassionate enough, and we're not.
We don't think.
We don't.
Sometimes we don't think before we speak.
We don't think before we speak. To have compassion, to just see something.
And just take it. Just take it, and that's it.
Because you know what, I've seen that.
He could have asked his friend.
Yeah. He could have asked him. He could have asked him. He could have asked Dan and just said, oh, you know that. You know, I know Dan would have told him. But I remember one time. So I worked in Greggs for a number of years when I first started uni. I fucking hated that job. But no, do you know what? I didn't like the job because I did obviously, you know, a bit of bravado. I felt it was embarrassing. But you know what? I hated that stupid hairnet and that fucking hat. That is what done it for me. Bitch, my hair looks good. I'm not putting that shit on my head.
Safety.
Yeah, I know.
Don't need your hair in my food.
Because everyone's like, oh, why don't you paint your nails, bitch? Because I worked in Greggs for 3 motherfucking years. I got used to that shit. But like, I liked it because it was early mornings. I could park again like down in Demnot's house and whatever, walk down. It was great because otherwise now I couldn't have drove and whatever. And I was in a hostel at them times, so I needed a job sort of thing. Anyway, this girl walked in and I've got quite, I don't want to say I've got photographic memory, but to an extent I feel like I do because I'm really, really good at picturing things and very vividly. If you say to me, oh, I put this there. Oh, Rob, was it in a green box? Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, I remember where it is. Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
This girl walked in and I served her, and obviously she don't know. And it was hot. I've got a jumper on. Oh, no, I've got a long sleeve polo top on, obviously, because no one in work needs to know what's going on.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
she want to
yeah,
touch your breast. Ew. So for no one out there, I mean, no one can't see, but I poked her breast. Anyway, yeah, this girl walked in and. Like, she looked, I don't want to, obviously not judgmental, but she looked like a stud. She had that kind of, she looked quite, she was gorgeous, but she looked like a stud. And I was like, and she had so many scars on her arm. And obviously, she's given me the arm to give me the money. My scars on my left arm, because my predominant arm is the right arm, obviously. Not obviously, but you know what I mean? Obviously, what I cut with. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So she had that, and she gave me the money, and I looked at her arm, and she was so nonchalant with it. And you know what? That brought me so much fucking joy.
I was going to say, you wish that you could probably be like, morph into her for a couple
I
of
wanted
hours.
to hug her. Like, and I remember after that, and even talking about it gets me emotional, because I had to go in the back. And I had to just compose myself for a minute, because I was like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Why can't I be like
thing
that?
is, though, you can.
That was strength.
But your mindset
you will get
doesn't
over-
allow you
Yeah,
to.
100%.
I was going to say, you will get over shame, because that's what it is.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
it
shame.
is. But you have nothing to be
Be ashamed of.
about. Do
You didn't
know
hurt.
what?
You
Yeah.
didn't hurt anyone.
No,
you know?
I know.
Anyone. You hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And as fucked up as it seems for people to be like,
Oh,
well, why
God.
would you hurt yourself? The reality is,
I don't
want
wanna
to
hurt no one else, and
you understand?
what else can I do?
It is
Yeah.
what we do, and
It's an outlet, and that's what people don't get.
Yeah.
It is an outlet, and it's a fucked up outlet.
Yeah, it
but
is.
every time
But it's
after
your
I have
coping
self-harmed, I feel better. I
your-
feel 10 times better.
It's your coping
Yeah,
mechanism.
Yeah, I feel 10 times better. I don't ruminate on anything. I go and watch a film and I'm alright. I wrap up my arm and I deal with it.
mad
And I
still.
nurse my arm, and I've had people that are like, Zem, let me help you, like
you don't
guys
need
and
the
stuff.
help. Yeah,
No,
you don't
like,
need
and
the
that's
help.
what scares me again, like with being single and finding a partner, because like, how are you going to judge me? And obviously there is people that have been around that have said, well, you know, there's been guys that have said to me, well, if they judge you, then they shouldn't be in your life.
100%. You just took the words out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
and he is totally right. And he said that to me year after year after year, to the point where he's come there and seen something's off, and he might see a little trickle of blood on a piece of paper, and he's looking at me and he's going to drag my shit, and he's going to drag my arm up, and he's going to get the fuck in the bathroom and let's clean you up, innit? Do you know what I mean? And I remember one time I literally nearly, like, not fought him, but I was so adamant I did, because I felt embarrassed. And he was like, all right, I'm going to go to my house, because I think he had just had an operation or whatever. So he's got certain things in his house that are obviously going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to the house and he went and got the stuff. And he went and got stuff to clean it, and he told me what not to do, what to do. He gave me certain stuff, and we had a big argument, and he argued with me because he wanted to help. And I refused help because I felt embarrassed. And even today, we was talking about tattoos, and he wanted to get a tattoo and stuff. And I was saying to him, oh, just in general, so I know about what I was saying at the Marvel tattoos, can you tattoo over scars? And whatever. And I voice noted him, and I was like, oh, if you don't mind, like, obviously ask your tattooist that you're with now, can you tattoo over scars and whatever. And obviously if he wants a picture, I don't really want to have to send one.
But I will.
if
that's a big step, you know?
it is. Like, but I was like, well, if this, and this guy's really good, and he's been going to him for a few years, and I've been there and I've seen the tattoos and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm kind of confident. And he's down the road,
confident in you.
and he's down the road from me anyway. Like, as in the tattoo shop is literally.
It's not far.
Yeah, it's off my road. Okay. Do you get what I mean? So it makes sense. So like, it's not like if it was Quay, it'd be a bit different. But like, and I was saying to him, obviously, I think like he didn't address it, but knowing him and knowing what he's thinking, you fucking idiot. Because I was like, oh, like, so I was like, oh, you know, obviously, if you want me to send you a picture, I'll send it to you. But obviously, ask him. And I was like to him, look, obviously, if you feel embarrassed.
He's not going to.
I know, but obviously to me,
and that's what I say. It's a lot to do with
it's
how
me,
you feel and
it's
the
me.
shame that you feel that you have to overcome.
Yeah, like he messaged me back like, oh, what, the Marvel one? Like, you know, like, it's kind of
So he's
exciting.
excited.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
yeah,
he didn't even
he
think
didn't
about
even
the
care.
scars. It
Yeah.
wasn't the scars, it was
And
the
it's like,
tattoo.
because I told him, he's like, that's gonna look. He's like, you're a neek. That's gonna look dope. Like, that's gonna look
I'm
sick.
glad
Do
someone
you know
else
what I mean?
thinks that you're a
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm a neat bitch. Don't worry. But like, I was like to him, look, obviously if you feel embarrassed, don't ask him. I totally get that, because obviously, you know, that's your friend asking, and I don't want him to look at you in a certain way. Not that he will judge you or whatever, but if you feel embarrassed, don't do it. He didn't even respond to that.
Yeah,
he just asked me the
because
question.
you're
That's
still-
me.
because you're
Yeah.
putting it down on the
Yeah.
situation. You don't
Your
need
shame
to.
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
embarrassment on
Yeah.
him when really that's
Yeah.
not the issue.
It's not,
the
but it's
issue.
in my head. Of course they have. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
That dude tummy tuck and
Yeah, it's
whatnot.
true.
They,
It's
they,
true.
They,
It's true.
They see it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Because it's like the first time I got a wax, I was embarrassed because my nunnies were all out, and she was like, "Bitch, I see this all the time."
And
I see dirty nunnies on top of that, so bitch, you're
Listen,
good.
Oh, that's
Like-
the lady.
Girl,
my
I know
beautician said the
stories.
same
That's gross.
thing.
Stories.
Listen, the amount of stories my beauty tech has told
I
me
would-
about
no, I'm
women
telling you
that
right
have
now.
sex
She's told me
without
people
getting
that have
waxed.
I'm going
shat.
to refute. Oh,
Yeah, that you know when you do the
Shit.
bum hole and they've just that's it. Yeah, she said people have shat projectile. Oh my god, that was a great noise.
God.
as my daughter would say, damn. What?
Yeah, she has told me some stories.
disgusting.
And she's told me she's had to
Nasty.
tell people to go downstairs and wash.
Yeah, because some people.
Well, that's what I was going to
shit before
say.
getting a wax
I
and
would
don't think
refuse.
that-
I would refuse. I would
Listen.
out. And
No,
I
she refused. They've got showers and stuff. Well,
Yeah,
you know what
my
I told you the other.
beautician has, they got
I told you. Yeah,
shower
you know what I
and-
told you the other day. So they got
Listen.
a lot of showers downstairs. But like they would like go downstairs, have a wash, and come back.
You that you got to wash your crackers.
That's embarrassing.
That's so embarrassing.
The thought of it is just gross.
Because now, obviously, like before, like obviously, you know me, I'm allergic to latex, so I have a problem with their gloves and stuff. It's just such a tangent. But like my normal one, she's like, I know you're clean. I don't really like. I
Yeah.
wash my hands.
Mine,
I
She just
sanitize.
touches your vajayjay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
but shit, all her fingers ain't in on my fucking. Oh,
Yeah, my
she just
beauty
holding my
tech
lips
does.
in it.
She
I
said
love
to
these
me-
ladies, but I ain't touching their vajayjay. So.
She's just holding. No, she's holding my lips and just pulling it. Yeah, it's alright.
the way she says it, just holding my lips.
I'm just pulling it. Yeah, man.
She said
Because she
my
always
beauty
open my
tech
back,
all
my
the
butty
time.
crack, and she don't
She's
have no
like,
problem.
I wouldn't do it to anyone
No,
else, but
exactly. I know you're clean.
That's what she says to
Yeah,
me. She's like,
yeah.
oh,
It's a level of trust.
Listen,
And I've been going there since 2012.
I've
So
been going, me too.
Right,
at
so
the
it's
same
a long time.
Even if like periods come and I feel kind of weird, I'm like, Toya, it's a bit different down there. So she's like, no, man.
Ah,
you're
whatever,
good.
yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
Because she's dealt with dirty bitches.
All I'm doing is
What
shaking my
I
head,
got is
people.
lying with gold compared to what they she's with me. I tell you that.
I don't even know how we got on the vajayjays. You know, gross.
I don't know. I know it's me. You know you can't ask me about a story and I'm not going to tell you another one. But no, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying about embarrassment. That's what I was going. That's what. Yeah. See, there's always a moral to my story. You got to give me that though. You got to give me that. I might go off, but there's always a moral, bitch. So yeah, no, like obviously I got over waxing because, like she said, I've seen it with everyone. But when it comes to self harm, because it's so personal, and it's a thing where I don't know anyone else that self harms, or maybe they do and they don't say.
They don't say.
You know, and it's like that. What is what I find hard because it's like the other day I went out, right? I was with D, my whatever, was in a car when I got some gel off. Oh my god, my friend's mum banging. So sorry, you know me, my fat ass. It's always about food. But obviously my brethren was there and I didn't have a t-shirt on, and like, obviously I'm turning my hand the other way, innit? Like because I'm conscious of it, and like because I've seen people see it, glance it, and they act like they don't realize. And I get it. I get it's for my sake. I get it's probably for their sake as well because it's a bit awkward. How do you approach that?
You don't.
But,
you just mind
know,
your business.
Just mind your business.
Yeah, but everyone
Because-
has a judgment,
Yeah.
and that's what I don't want to have to deal with them looking at. Oh my god, she's mad.
Yeah.
Because people will look at me and
We
think, oh,
fear-
she's fucked.
But you know
Problem with the
what?
world
I
we live
believe in.
We fear.
I believe
what
everybody is
Yeah.
walking around with a mental illness.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I know this
No,
sounds
no, no, no,
crazy.
no, 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 you're not
I just
wrong.
think we
You're
all
not
have
wrong.
trigger
You're not wrong.
points,
Yeah.
and then things come
Yeah.
to
I
light.
believe that.
I think
Just mind your business.
Every day.
in psychology, I think they said 80% of people in this world at some stage will have some kind of mental illness episode.
Yeah.
Might have a form of mental illness, but they will at least have an episode. Because life is fucking
It's mad.
hard.
The thing is, we're in this world, and we're to us we're normal. What makes us normal?
What's normal?
Exactly.
No, no,
What
no.
is normal?
What is
What is
normal?
normal?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
we see mad
Yeah.
people on the road,
Yeah.
I bet you they
Yeah.
think that they're
They're
the same
normal.
ones
Of course they
and
do.
we're the
Yeah,
fucked
they
up
think
ones.
they're-
Do you
yeah,
understand?
100%.
So what is normal?
Listen, some of the
What
things
is
that come out of
saying?
their mouth,
What
I
is-
wonder say, you know, you might
Listen.
be on it, bitch.
You might- Literally,
You might be right.
like,
You might be right because you're talking some fucking sense. You're damn
Literally.
right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, no, because I'm gonna have no TV when you leave. But shit.
telling you,
Oh my god, that's so judgmental. That's so bad. I shouldn't say
It
that.
is, but flipping alright. It's the
Look,
reality
it's
of
banter.
it,
Please don't come for me. It's just a joke. But like, no, literally, like that's what it is. Obviously, I always feel a bit awkward. And me and the guy had this conversation. And he was like, "Oh, but how can you?" Like, we were just talking about judgment and stuff. And he was like, "Okay, But would I be right to judge you if I looked at your arm and just saw it like that? He's like, of course I wouldn't, and I never would. And I know he wouldn't judge me because you're still my brethren till this day. And out of men in my life and whatever, you've helped me through a shitload to the point where my arm might be trickling with not even trickling, fucking running with blood, and it's you that's gonna sit there and clean it.
It's mad because even though you say you do this and you have scars, when I look at you, I don't see your scars.
Which is nice. I like to hear. That's nice to hear.
I don't even look at your arms.
That's nice to hear.
Even if I am looking at your arms, I don't see it.
Oh, I feel like
because
to cry
I
again.
see you. You get it? Like I don't see it. Honestly, hand on heart, if I could sit here and count and say, yeah, I've seen it this day, that, I'll be lying, Zemis, because I don't see that. I
don't even notice the fact that you wear long sleeve tops until you just said it. And I'm your fucking cousin.
I did notice that all the time. I'm thinking,
why she was in long sleeve, because you see me in a dress, it's long sleeve.
Yeah,
it's fitted and whatnot, but it's always long sleeve.
Thought about
it's that.
I never thought about it
because you just
I don't.
Oh, that's how she likes.
I don't remember these. Yeah, that's why I don't remember her styles.
And that's me. Like,
so when you just said it, I'm just like,
oh
shit.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't really like that. I don't like the.
Yeah, and that's why I always tell you I have to have long sleeve. I mean, I thought you just kind of assumed, but cool. Obviously, for me, it's always in the forefront of my mind.
It's not in mine. Yeah. And you've got to remember.
And I do.
It's probably not in everybody else's.
It's not. Yeah, no, you're right.
From today's episode, I think
that's my takeaway. 100%. 100%.
So that's your lesson for today.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally, I think this is the first time they've heard me and Ashley so quiet because you've taught me so much.
And now we're teaching you something.
And I'm here for learning, bitch. I like learning.
I'm grateful that you're here.
Oh, bless you.
Because a lot of people are most probably going through this and they themselves
don't know how to express it
or don't know how to express.
And that was going to be my next question.
It's hard.
How would you what would you advise if someone's going through certain things about now?
Talk. And it is so difficult, and especially like we said, self-harming, that is so taboo. Like no one, I'm 27, going to 28 this year. I think I started self-harming, I was out of school, 16. Shavers, only razor I could find. And you know what, it's funny, I could show you the little, look, you can see it. You see the little mark there?
It's tiny.
It's tiny because it's been like 10 years, bitch. But like little, it was little marks like that, and it got bigger and it developed. And my best friend has been amazing because she knows and she understands and she will talk me off that proverbial ledge.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many ways I've tried to kill myself. I can't tell you. And certain ways I got a fucking laugh. I tried to drown myself one time like some idiot. How the fuck is that gonna work? You aren't gonna come out for breath.
He's like, fuck this, I can't breathe.
Right. It's so. I was young and I was stupid. And I mean,
your breath.
One time I tried to hang myself.
No.
It's funny. The reason why it's funny, I'll tell you why it's funny. With a fucking a dressing gown tie. The fuck was I thinking? No. It was like nylon silk. That ain't working, bitch.
I'm dead.
But I have to laugh about it now. And don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, yes.
And those are steps. Those are steps.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I might not have tried it a year ago, because of course I have. I might not have tried it. The last time I probably tried it was a couple of months ago. I'll be completely honest with you. Obviously it didn't work because I'm fucking sitting here and I clearly can't do the job right. So I'm at that point where I fucking give up.
You can't do the job right.
Thank you.
And we have conversations.
Yeah, we do. We do.
I'm here. Snap
but
out
it's
of it.
not,
I'm here. But I know
sometimes
it's
it's
not easy
so hard.
It's not here.
Sometimes encouragement doesn't make
it doesn't.
It doesn't. Because you just
feel how you feel.
Let me tell you how I feel. I don't know if you've had suicidal thoughts, either of you, to the point where you've gone through with it. I have. Someone found my brethren the other day had a notebook, right? It's another thing I ain't said to no one. I think I said it to Dee the other day, and that was it. And that was just in passing conversation. I have a notebook, and I started writing down my dreams because I was getting weird dreams. My brother was like, "Oh, write it down." So I was like, "Okay, cool." And I had a moment where I was just like, I want to be here. So I wrote a little note. I stuck something on my door outside. It was like, don't come in. And I just took a bunch of shit, and clearly I didn't do it right. But like, obviously with my pain and my hip and stuff like that, long story short, I have an issue with my hip. So I take certain medications, i.e. tramadol, which is quite strong. So I took a mixture of just shit. And I was just fucked. And God was like, you're about to learn today, because you see the bellyache that you're gonna get. Yeah, you see the bellyache that you're not gonna want to do this shit again, bitch.
So
And
that's what you got from it, a bellyache.
A bellyache, and I was fucked. I slept for the whole day. That was not the weed time, but that was like, because the girl. I told you, yeah, I slept for 24 fucking hours. But no, that was. I was slumped. I just about got to feed my cat. Yeah. But like I've been at them points where it's not the first time I've written suicide notes to people, and when I realised, this shit ain't gonna work, let me take the note off my door, kiss my neighbour, see then call the police, because it was like, don't come in, call the police, because I don't want no one walking into that isn't trained for that, because at least in my last...
Because then you're giving them trauma.
Right. So at least in my last moments, if I can save someone from something, that's what I'm going to do. And at that point in time, I want to save people from dealing with my life and dealing with my stuff and dealing with my burden.
But
you need to stop feeling like you're a burden.
Exactly,
you say that, but it's not
It's hard.
Easy.
It's so hard.
It's all good saying that
it's
you're
so
not a burden
hard.
because you can always
But I'm then moaning to you about something. So technically, I am a burden at the time. But I am.
Your own shit.
Because you could have been sitting there with your kids.
But that's what you're there for, to listen to me, and I'm there
it's true.
To you.
It's true. Stop it. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
And the thing is, it's so fucked up because I find Zenis and I are so much alike.
100%.
We feel like we're a burden to people, so sometimes we just...
Because I sit and say, no, you're not a burden, stop being stupid, go and talk to her.
And this is why I say to you, like, you need to fucking take your own advice and do it.
It's true. And that's what, do you know what, as human beings,
give it, but you don't take it.
Yeah, as human beings, we don't take our own advice. And that's a problem that as humans we have. We don't take advice. We give it, we don't take it.
We don't take it.
Because we can't apply it to our lives, because we need somebody else to apply it to our lives, because it's fucking difficult. Because our mindset in that moment is warped and it's fucked and it's not right. And you have intrusive thoughts where you're not good enough. No one wants you. No one's gonna love you. Why do you care? No one cares about you. Why are you here? Your life is worthless. And that's all the things that I feel is, you're worthless. Your life is pointless. You're not gonna achieve anything. So what if you've gone to uni? So what if you've got a degree?
I was gonna say, you guys do realise that you guys are doing more than some people that don't actually have mental illnesses.
100%. But where's it got me?
You don't feel like that.
Because I've got a degree, but I don't have the experience. So what the fuck do I do?
Exactly.
So it's a catch-22. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard.
But I'm in pain. I can't.
Right. And that's what, and this is why I can understand Natalie, because it's the pain aspect on top of that. Yeah,
there's so much you want to do.
She's right,
but you can't do it. You can't do it. So why am I here? Why am I here if I can't do it?
To get on my nerves.
For you, but that's beneficial to you.
But I'm sitting here, like you said, I'm sitting here in pain.
It's not beneficial to you.
No, it's not beneficial to me. What's beneficial to me is being able to get up and know that I can walk for 3 hours a day and be content.
Can I just interject 1 second? Do they have you talked about disabilities or anything like that?
Not yet.
So
we'll get there.
I was gonna say, do you want to just give a kind of brief explanation as to kind of not why, but you have pain because of X, Y, and Z?
Because I have.
Because maybe that will help other people that are going through chronic pain.
3 car accidents in less than a year. So I had my first.
Oh my god, I had 2.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, I know. I said really happily, like.
So I had 3 car accidents in less than a year. One in September, I was hit in the rear and I was a passenger with Ashley. That was the end of September. Then the beginning or the 13th of October, 20.
She got arrested then.
2011. Yeah, I got arrested that day.
Oh, fucking hell.
I had another accident where a van hit in the rear of me. And then January 2013, I had another accident where a Virgin Media van hit in the back of me.
Was that on the way to uni?
That was Brixton Hill. Jesus. And from that, my body it's like my body just shut down.
Yeah, of course.
After my last accident.
That's it.
It's like I was in my bed.
Because you got to remember, your body hasn't recovered from the other 2.
Listen, I couldn't get up. I had to call.
And that's your back, that's your neck, that's everything. And that shit takes. Well, you already know that shit takes time.
Yeah, because we're now in 2020 and I'm still in.
With
whatever else I have. So all of that happened.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having a lot of lower back pain. So then I found out I had osteoarthritis of my lower spine.
Oh yeah, maybe say
that.
Then
I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain situation, and then I got diagnosed with trochanteric bursitis of my right hip. So basically, in our hips we have a sac, but my sac is not inflamed, or it's inflamed with fluid, or it has no fluid. So the bones in my hip
grinding.
they're grinding.
So it must have
together.
it doesn't have any fluid.
So
then.
it clearly don't have any fluid.
Yeah.
So it's grinding
because
together.
it would be synovial fluid in that sac.
See, she knows. I don't even know.
All I know is there's some long
Bitch,
words.
you know me in science, bitch.
Literally,
I'm good with that shit. It's
all of
synovial
that
fluid.
has caused me to have pain.
Yeah.
Which restricts me in doing normal day-to-day shit.
Yeah. And it's hard, isn't it?
Draining
It's so
because
hard.
I'm very determined. I'm very adamant. I'm very strong.
You want to get on with life. You want to work. You have to do everything you want to.
I
Yeah.
want to do everything I can. I force myself to go to work.
Yeah.
Because I like life.
Yeah.
I like going on holidays. I like driving.
And you know what? You see me now,
like all of
because
that.
we're in the same position of maybe not the same thing, but as you know, I got hip pain, back pain.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had back problems since primary school.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I what it was is I stood with my knees locked back. So because I stood like that, it fucked my alignment of my back.
Wow. So you're double jointed in your knees.
I don't know if that's the case, but my knees are fucked.
But you so push your knees.
Yeah, so like they like you know like your elbow, they lock back.
balls
Yeah.
out
So
at the
my
back.
because they do say that I am hypermobile.
Okay.
So that when they looking at my fingers and stuff, I can
You
bend
can
them really
do
far
all of
back
that.
and stuff like
Okay,
that.
wow.
Like I'm hypermobile and like
Okay.
my joints click a
You
lot.
must be good pandakaki.
That's what I thought.
Let me not lie though, I have a problem with getting on top, you know, but that's a whole nother issue. I always feel really insecure
What?
because I feel like a whale sitting on like a mouse.
Just shut your eyes
I'm
and enjoy
dead.
the ride.
You ever say
You best do some.
No, it's true. But yeah, no. So like with like you said with the pain, having to deal with that, like obviously as you know, 2 years ago or so, bro, I fucking woke up and I was in pain and I was like, oh yeah, I got cramp. I've slept weird. Maybe my legs just cock out and I fucked up. Girl, 2 days later, I couldn't even drive my motherfucking car to work.
Listen,
and I
I'm
was
telling you.
bawling, and I had to go Kings, and that's where my shit kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, from that downfall, okay, cool. I've had to give up working because how can I get to work? But then now that I'm not accustomed to not working. I've gone uni, I've gone work. I've done uni for 5 years. I worked all the way through that. I had a Saturday job when I was like 14.
I've been working for
right.
15.
So you've always done it. So
Always
it's now
done something.
it's a routine. So it's like I feel like a fucking bum, and that's how I feel now. And then I think that obviously affects my mood and stuff like that. And it's like, but I haven't caused that. That's not my point.
it's not your
That's not my
fault.
fault. It's not because I'm one of them girls or one of them people that are just like,
Refusing to work.
just
I don't want to work. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
be
an
bothered.
excuse.
Yeah.
Because
like,
you're willing.
Yeah.
And that's
I
me.
want to work. And
Like,
it's like,
I
I
want
know
to
what
not
my
work,
career
but
is. I
I
know
can't.
what I want to do. And it's like, I've applied and I haven't got it. And I now need to get more experience, which is why I want to like volunteer like NSPCC is kind of where my next one is.
Okay.
But it's a bit hard because Corona, phones, all that kind of stuff. It's a bit different. Corona kind of fucked. Oh, sorry, babes. Corona kind of fucked everything. But it's like you said, dealing with that pain, that in itself is depressing.
It is.
And then like we was going back to feeling worthless. Of course, it makes you feel worthless because okay, cool, you're working. So we're on flip sides. I'm not working. You are, and you still feel shitty because it's like, oh, I can get to work, but I can't do whatever. And I'm kind of like, well, I can't ever fucking get to work. So it's like, I'm not used to that. I am not that girl that sits at home. I am so accustomed to working and doing whatever and sitting at home and not
It's
doing
mad.
nothing. Is
All
oh
you
my
do
god,
is
it
think,
drives
you
me
think,
nuts.
You think.
Because what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
And then I feel worthless.
think.
And then I feel shitty. And then you might have an argument or disagreement with someone and that kind of blows out of
That
proportion.
brings- yeah.
And because I ain't got nothing to fucking do, I'm at home thinking with my motherfucking cat that don't
And
give
the
a
thing
shit.
is, you see
And
the
that's
way
it.
You feel without work. I feel that way too because sometimes
Yeah.
I'm at work and I have to ask my work colleagues for help. I'm like, can you help me do this? Because my back hurts.
Yeah,
I can't bend
yeah,
down
and
to
it's
do
like,
it.
well, as an
And
adult,
that
why
makes
can't I
me-
do it for
Exactly,
myself?
and that
I'm
makes me feel
independent.
worthless.
Yeah, 100%.
So the same way you're
Yeah.
feeling, even though you're not going to work, I feel like that at
Yeah,
work. Do you
girl,
understand?
let me tell you the
So
worst point
it's
of that:
mad.
having a carer and having someone clean your house. Because I couldn't do shit, and having to have I've got the electric bath lift and stuff, and it's embarrassing when people come in my house because I can't really take it out and put it nowhere anyway. And to be fair, because I really lower myself, like now I can feel my hip hurting.
My hip is hurting.
My
too.
hip is fucked.
I'm sitting there
like
okay,
shit, bitch.
All right.
I need to stretch. But it's like I remember one time like coming in, like I had that heightened toilet seat because I couldn't bend down that
Couldn't
far
get
to get
so
on a
low.
toilet seat, and it's like
Yeah.
people coming in like,
Why have you got this?
And it's
Why is it
embarrassing. It's
It
not
is.
Yeah, but it
nice.
shouldn't
But
be
it's
because
irrelevant.
if they know you, then it shouldn't be
No, but
embarrassing.
even if they don't know me, it's still embarrassing. Or not, they don't know me,
Because
but
you
they
have
don't.
to explain to someone that I am 27.
Yeah.
or I'm
You don't have to
35.
explain
But
to
the thing
anybody.
is,
You
They
do.
come in your house.
You do.
Sometimes you
do.
feel like you have
You
to.
do because
People
they've
come
seen
to your
it.
house and
They've
they see
seen
and
it.
they're like, right,
So you have to
does
explain.
your grandma live here?
Yeah, you have to
Nah, bitch,
explain.
your mum lives there.
I'd be saying, the fuck?
I love
None of
that.
your business,
No,
but
it's true.
Sometimes you do, Ash, and I get it because you know we don't explain because we feel like we don't have to. But the reality is sometimes people will see shit and they're like, well, why?
I'd
do you
rather
have
not
that?
have the awkwardness and you assuming.
yeah.
I'd rather explain, and
But
that's
you
what
know,
it is for
that,
me.
That in itself is also again back to society
Yeah,
and people.
yeah, yeah.
Because people will
'Cause
look
you
at
shouldn't
me
have
and
to.
think-
You shouldn't care. You shouldn't care.
But people
Yeah.
look at me and think, cry, you're big, you're thick, you're strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look big, thick
Yeah,
and strong.
but I'm not.
But
Yeah.
blow me down and try see if I don't drop the
Yeah,
cup
yeah,
at me.
yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
I can't even carry my own food shopping.
Oh, girl, don't tell me
You
about
understand?
that.
And
Oh
that,
my
things
word.
like that, I think to myself,
Yeah.
how am I gonna have a baby? I
Yeah.
can't even carry bags.
Yeah.
So what happens when I have to carry it?
Yeah.
Have you seen the size
Yeah.
of the thickness of that? So what? My baby's gonna be 10 What's it like?
But I swear you said the bigger the baby, the easier the birth. So that's
Yeah,
something.
but I mean, no, I think she's talking about carrying it after.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
I think she's doing everything.
I ain't carrying no 10-pound baby.
Period.
You are not on my front. You better get in your buggy because that's a lot. But no,
Literally,
100%.
oh my
And do you know
God.
what is a fine? Food shopping is one of the worst because it's
Food
like,
shopping
okay,
is the worst.
I might want to buy so much stuff.
Yeah, you
but
both.
I
live
can't.
in- You both live.
And
in-
we've got stairs.
You both. Yeah,
can't.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
I
You
haven't
both
moved.
have
Your stairs
stores.
are worse than
My
mine.
stairs are horrendous.
Your stairs,
And it's like,
even I
they
have
know
the
that I
stairs
need to
and
move
I was
and they ain't
dead.
done it.
I couldn't do it.
And then remember, you get to
do
the
it.
stairs, and then you get through my door, and
there's
there's more
the
stairs.
So
And
there's
it's
not
like,
even a
bitch.
cooling period.
Yeah, there's not.
See,
Because you
my
gotta travel
stairs
up
is
another
not
amount of
a lot,
stairs.
but I'm grateful for it because it has the pause.
Okay.
Literally, I can stop. I have a landing, so
Yeah.
there's about 6 steps.
Okay.
4 steps, 6
Okay.
steps. Then
Okay.
there's a
Okay.
decent amount of
Yeah,
landing
yeah,
to
yeah,
say,
yeah.
all right, man, I take a
And my stairs are tight.
yeah.
My stairs
they're
are tight.
steep.
And that
they're
you know,
steep.
you've seen that bend. Like that bend of that bend of the stairs is the absolute worst for me. Like, and that's the issue.
That's
Like,
mad.
do you know what I mean? But it's
You
like,
should get onto them.
no, I have, but
Literally,
I have, and they're like,
that's
oh, we haven't
madness,
found
man.
anywhere suitable. We haven't
But
found anywhere
I'm gonna
suitable.
drop down the stairs and dead. So why go on?
Well, then they don't give a shit. I've got to be crawling.
And this is again something that a lot of
Society.
people are most probably
Fucked.
going through, and it's sad, man. Sometimes I wish I could just win the lottery, have my own
Yeah, trust me,
organisation
and help people.
everybody
Totally agree.
That needs to be
Totally
helped.
agree.
Because if
Totally
we're
agree.
going through this,
How
imagine
many
what
other people?
everybody
Yeah,
else is going
100%.
through.
And
it's
for
mad.
us, they might be relatively minor. Say if you are a paraplegic. Say if you
Listen.
are a double amputee.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
What do
sad.
you do?
Even that for them must be depressing. Cause
I couldn't handle that.
it's mad.
I would have threw myself over a bridge. I know
It
that
is
sounds so
crazy.
horrible.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I don't endorse that. You shouldn't. But I know that in
We're gonna
terms
try
of,
and cut that bit out.
I know. No, but I know in how I feel. That's not. I wouldn't know. Not. Let me not die.
We
Let me
should have
rephrase
never
it.
talk for this.
I know, right?
We should have did a whole.
Okay,
talk
let's
to
wrap
this.
it. No, we can wrap it up. But no, like, obviously I wouldn't do it, but I would feel like, I know me, I'm just me and my mindset, not saying that if you are in that predicament, that's what you should do, because live your fucking life and you are going to be great. And that's it. Because regardless of whatever the fuck you go through, you have come through trials and tribulations, and that says a lot about your personal character. And I might not, I don't take that on as myself,
Yeah.
but to other people, I'm going to preach that shit
Yeah.
every day. That
That's
is
me.
strength.
You will always encourage and give.
I will
that
encourage and I will
strength,
give
no
and I will
matter
do as
the lie.
much as I
Yeah.
can, but I might not take it. But I know at that point I'm gonna throw myself. I'm gonna want to, should I say, throw myself off a bridge because I don't know where else to go.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, and that's what.
We try to find the easy way out.
Yes.
When really
yes.
that's not the
it's
easy
not.
way
It's
out.
not.
Yeah.
Because the easiest
understand.
way out is to deal with it.
Deal with
Realistically.
it. Deal with it, overcome it, or
Yes.
overcome it, or
Yes.
try to overcome
Or
it,
manage it, or whatever.
Find
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
borderline that
Yeah.
allows you to deal
Yeah.
with it, manage
Yeah.
it, and still live.
Yeah.
And I understand that wholeheartedly, literally, but
Because I feel like for
get
me, like just to wrap up my kind of whole blah, blah, blah,
Blah,
blah, blah, blah. like mental illness kind of
Yeah.
mental health issues thing is, I am aware, and what people need to be a bit realistic about is certain things cannot be cured.
I agree.
And it's gonna be like my last like pearl of wisdom. I know, right? I've been saying this all weekend. Like, I'm gonna drop some pearls of wisdom on you, bitch. Anyway, no, like my kind of thing is certain things can't be cured. But it's management. It's management. It's management and acceptance.
Managing.
Yes,
And
totally
that's the
agree.
biggest
Totally
thing,
agree.
accepting,
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need to accept
Yeah.
that you're gonna be
Yep.
in pain or your mind's
Yep.
gonna be fucked.
Yep.
But then you
Yep.
need to manage that.
I
to
know
understand.
that chances are, because they said to me I suffered with chronic depression initially, because they said to me when I spoke to it about, and he was actually a psychoanalyst,
Okay.
which is like deep.
Okay.
Not just your bog standard psychologist sort of thing. So he was like, talking from your childhood, you sound like you have displayed depressive symptoms as early as you can remember, and as early as I can remember is about 7 or 8.
Wow.
And I've displayed depressive symptoms since then, and also self-harming symptoms, because I would sit there and bang my head against the wall for hours,
Wow.
chanting to myself, I wish I was dead. That was it, like a madman.
That's
That's really judgmental, but you know what I mean. Like literally sitting there, banging my head. I wish I was dead. I didn't even know. I remember telling my mum one time, you should have had an abortion. I didn't fully understand what a fucking abortion was.
Wow.
I was under 10, bro. I don't know. I remember my friend saying, "No, but you love your mum." I said, "I don't." He said, "You don't." He's like, "You love your mum, you just don't like her." And again, I was under 10, and he understood. He was a couple of years older than me, and he was like, "You can't say you don't love your mum because you do, because that's your mother." And at that time, I probably didn't like her. Of course, I loved her. It's my mother, innit? Because I still chat to her now. She fucking annoys me. But that's a mum, innit? Mums are jarring.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you get me? But it's like, I've learned now, don't have the expectation of cure. And I think that's what a lot of people have. You can't expect a cure. You have to understand that with certain things, it is management and acceptance. And the minute you get to that point, you will flourish.
You're basically cured.
Yeah,
Because once you can accept to manage, that is the cure.
The cure is a bonus.
Yeah.
But accept that you will manage it, and you will
It's a
prosper,
different
and you
thing.
will be fruitful, and everything will be great. And will you have your down times? Yes, because you are fucking human. It's nothing to do with depression or anxiety or personality disorder or this. You're fucking human, bro. And life is fucking hard, bro. And that is it. Life is hard, shit is hard, and you got COVID on top of
climate we live
it.
in is
Everything.
hard.
It is
Everything.
hard, my brother.
Lack of
That
jobs,
is it.
being
That
black,
is it.
everything
That is it.
is
That is
hard.
it. That is
Hard.
it.
You're not
That is
wrong.
it. It's fucking hard, bro.
hard.
It's hard.
Being a
But-
woman, being a man, it's all
But
hard.
right, regardless of whatever walk, like you said, whether you're a black male, whether you're a black and a female, whether you are whatever else, whether you are at the bottom of the future and you get treated like shit by your manager, okay, cool, you might want to stand up for yourself professionally. You don't have to come with your attitude,
But then
you stand up for
classify
yourself.
as being aggressive.
Yeah, and that's
then that
and then
oppresses you, and then you're back into that cycle.
right. But you have to. I mean, oh shit, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But you have to. When it comes to mental health, people look for a cure, and I totally understand it because we want to be rid of it.
Yeah.
But do you know the one last thing? My counsellor always says to me, "If you had a button, would you push it?" And I was like, "Oh, I know now." A couple of sessions in, that's a trick fucking question, bitch. Because I'm not gonna push it. It's a fucking dial. Because what we've worked out is, okay, you might need a certain amount of insecurity in order to be secure about certain stuff. You need a certain amount of depressiveness to be happy and grateful about stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need 70%, you might need 15.
Yeah.
You need
But you need
some, there's opposites.
You need a balance.
Yeah,
You need the opposites.
yeah.
You
To
need
understand the light, you have to see the dark,
balance,
innit?
yeah.
You get me? You
To
have
be
to
grateful, you have to have reached the
right,
bottom,
right,
if that
right.
makes sense.
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. That is it.
Is
Do you get me? So
reality, yeah.
life is a dial. It's not turning things on and off. It's dialing shit down and understanding that you need a certain amount of something in order to be grateful first for a better thing and move on. And that's kind of what, especially honestly, my counsellor's amazing. I've got a session with him tomorrow. He's great, and he is like, sometimes I might think, oh, you know, like, oh, this is a bit silly, but it's not, because
not.
I fucking
It
need
helps.
it. I need it. And
it helps.
yeah,
We don't see it at
Yeah.
the time, but it helps.
yeah. And if anyone wants to have a look, one thing I would say to them is look at the cognitive distortions.
Okay.
Like, have a Google at the cognitive
I'll add this on
distortions.
the podcast,
Yeah,
in the
because
description.
that, honestly, you look at stuff and it sees how you internalize stuff, and it breaks it down, i.e. personalization, where you might have fallen over and be like, oh my god, she's fallen over because she come to meet me though. And it's like, no, she fell over because she tripped.
Yeah.
So it's
But
like you start
I'm
to
per-
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Mindfulness,
yeah,
you
yeah.
start to
And
give
it's like, or
yourself-
you have the black and white thinking of, oh, okay, oh, he didn't say he loved me, so he doesn't love me.
So he doesn't love me.
No, bitch, he
I
just
think
hasn't
I
said
got
it.
confused.
Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have the different cognitive distortions, and if anyone wants to have a look at that. And what my counsellor said to me is, look at that. Keep a thought or mood. I know this was completely random, but I just have to say it. Like, keep a thought or mood diary if you can, and then go over those thoughts and look at the cognitive distortions. I think one of the things he taught me, I'll send you it anyway for the thing, but it's called the Feeling Good website by David something. His name begins with a D,
I read that.
Yeah, and you can go through it, and it's like got and it's got like Melanie's mood log, and if you look through the mood log and you recreate that yourself, and then you go through those things and look at the cognitive distortions on the negative thoughts, it really, really helps to understand why. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And then you go back and you rate that statement of, oh, I can't do anything. At the first beginning of the session, I think, oh, I'm not good enough. That's 100%.
Yeah.
Middle of the session, oh, well, now that you've said that, this, that, and the other, because if I was your friend, you wouldn't tell me that. So what would you tell me? You are good enough and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I might be like, oh, I kind of believe it's 70%. By the end of the session, when I've gone through all of those cognitive distortions and said, this is this is that, this is because of blah, 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 and whatever, oh, I might rate it. Sometimes I might rate it 50%. Sometimes I might rate it 0. It kind of depends on what it is. But those are, like, if I was speaking to anyone from what I've learned of recent, that would be the best thing to kind of, for me personally, to look at. Write stuff down. Like, write stuff down.
They've always taught me that as well.
Don't just leave it in your head. Sometimes you need to see it, because you have to see it in person to realise how irrational it is.
Because sometimes when you read it back,
you're like,
it sounds worse.
What?
Than
That's
your friend.
crazy.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Sometimes
100%. Because you see, that is so irrational and that is so wrong. You have to see it.
It's like your mind tells you stuff that isn't true, and then when you write it down, you're like,
your mind is a really fucked up place if you let it.
I'm telling you.
It really is. It really
that.
is. I love the mind, and this is why I've studied, and I love psychology, and I love neuroscience, and that is my fucking passion.
I hear that.
But it's a fucked up place.
It is. I rate you for that, because literally listening to you, my mind's fucked.
Sorry.
Ash, you think it's a joke?
Girl, be grateful that you ain't had them fucked up thoughts,
Listen,
bitch.
seriously,
You are lucky.
guys, I hope you guys actually listen to this. This is actually our longest ever.
I'm so sorry if I banged on. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I've learned loads, because
Oh my
you
God,
guys
that's
are the ones
really
that
long.
have the. I don't mean to be rude. You lot are the ones that have the issues, and I'm learning. No, but I am. I'm
No,
learning
I get
so
it.
much.
Yeah, because you haven't been there.
Because
So
it's not
yeah.
just your mental illness; it's your health, which obviously puts another strain on
100%.
what you guys have got.
And especially when we go through something similar, we get it. We both get it. And like
So
you said,
I'm
you haven't
learning.
got those kind of issues with
I
your hips
don't.
and your back and stuff. So of course you're not going to fully get
And
it.
I am grateful.
Yeah.
Don't think I am grateful.
God,
I'm grateful.
yeah, 100%. Bitch, you can run
And
up
you
and
know-
downstairs. I can't do that shit.
I don't need
I
help,
get
but
to
I'm
the first
here.
step and I forget myself, and I'm like, whoa.
Listen, you
okay.
can sit down, pon cocky, and be alright. I can't. I gotta lay on
need
my
to
back
find
and
me
cock something up.
one.
Oh, bitch. Don't get me started.
What's your closing thought of the day? My thought is.
I'll go last because I'm not sure.
My thought is, don't be ashamed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley.
Yeah, don't be ashamed.
Yeah. My thought is, don't beat yourself up for things that you can't control. I would like to say, if you are feeling any sort of way, know that you can find someone to talk to. If you can't find anyone to talk to, shit, DM me. I have time. Well, I don't have time, but I will
You'll make time.
You understand?
We will
Because
make time.
We are all put here for a purpose. Sometimes we don't see that purpose. We don't feel that purpose.
Yes.
But we are all been put here for a purpose.
100%.
You could be jobless, but try know
100%.
you could help Pearl down the road, or you could help Precious down the road. That could have been your purpose for today.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And if there is no one you can talk to, as much as we have this thing about GPs and doctors, contact your GP. If you feel like you're having suicidal thoughts, 999, that's why it's there. If 999 don't
Samaritans, all
work
of
for you,
that.
contact the Samaritans, 116123.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I love
but
that.
try know if you need any of us, like, DM me on Talk It How It Is.
Me too.
DM
Ashley
me on
too.
Natalie.
All of us.
Natalie or Nata British at Insta.
It's
on
Nata
Insta.
British,
Is
ain't
it
it?
Nata
It's
British?
Nata
Shit,
British,
I
I
don't even
swear.
know much. Zemis. You can find her at Zemis _
You might have to spell that out.
Yeah.
at Zemis, Zemis _ Hadia, Hadiah.
You said that correctly. I'm
I
actually
know.
really impressed.
You know, she's
Yeah,
like-
I know.
That's normally me, guys. Also, if you want to email us on talkithowItis
Yes, girl.
at gmail.com, and you can find us on Insta at talkithowItis. Ashley, do you want to give your Insta?
ASR7784.
There you go, girl.
Wait, can I have a closing statement?
Of course you can.
Yay! Just to add on to what Nat was saying, I mean, do you know what? So sorry. I never call you Natalie. I always call you Nat, and I feel like it's a bit presumptuous. But
No. Oh, please.
You've
She
been in-
calls me
Call
now.
her whatever you want.
I know,
man.
but you've
Sure,
been here for
if
years,
you
and I've never
want
really
to.
addressed it
No,
because she always calls me Zemis, and I always find it really awkward.
Because I feel like calling you Zem is awkward for me. Because that's not your name.
But that's
It's
what everyone
weird.
calls me.
I know, but I
Zem
like
Bob.
Zemis.
Don't do that. We're recording, bitch. Keep something sacred, I beg.
My cousin,
No.
what can you do?
Fuck off. No, just to add on what you said, Nat, mind.org.uk. Great website.
Yeah, I've
And
got.
the app. Have you got the app?
No, I don't
Oh,
have the app.
no,
but that-
it's not. Oh, there's an app on, and it's about meditation.
Mindfulness, people,
That's it.
yeah,
Yes,
I got mindfulness,
yes,
but
yes.
I've got.
You read
I've
them out,
got
girl.
that. I'm gonna add them to the
Description.
www.rethink.org.
I've been on that one.
Advice, blah blah blah, and www.thecalmzone.net.
Oh, I like
And
that
there
one.
was another one, the one that you said, but I didn't write them all down
Yeah.
because I write my intro.
Yeah, of course, and then you're gonna add them. Yeah, so just to kind of throw it out
yeah.
there, mind.org.uk is a great website. Also, if you are within the Wandsworth area and the services that I have used, is one of the services that I've used is Talk Wandsworth,
Okay.
which your doctor can refer you to,
Yeah,
or
'cause
you
every
can
borough has their own,
exactly,
so,
yeah. So if you're Wandsworth residents, if anyone is, I am personally, but you know you can self-refer yourself onto that, and that is absolutely great. There is other places that offer stays for a couple of days for people, be it men or female. Some of them are men only. Can't remember them right now, but I will send them to you once
That's
I
no
find them
problem.
because
Thank
I've got them
you.
written down somewhere.
That's so cool.
Maple Tree, something like that. Anyway, I'll find it.
That's
And
fine.
like they have like certain, like you stay there for about 3
Groups,
days,
yeah.
and it's like not counselling, but it's befriending.
Okay.
Which is, I've looked into it for someone and it seemed absolutely amazing. Out in the countryside, looked fucking beautiful, mate.
I want to go just
Look,
for it.
you know, I was ready, girl. I was like, what?
Listen,
Do I have to
it's
draw
not
on
holiday.
moustaches? Bitch, I'm depressed as it is. Do I have to draw on moustache? I'll take that shit. Okay, they look great. My closing kind of statement is talk to people.
Yeah.
Talk to your support network and don't be afraid, because I was afraid and I haven't met a person that hasn't been supportive of me yet. No matter how shitty I feel about myself and how self-conscious I might feel about myself, I have not met a person in my life that hasn't supported me and helped me, and these lot haven't been through self-harm and I have. And that's a whole different kettle of fish to a certain extent. And it's embarrassing, and anyone that goes through that, don't be embarrassed, because it's how you feel and it's how you cope. And yes, it might be wrong, but you can change that because you've got time left. But talk to people, because a problem shared is a problem halved. And you can never reach your full potential on your own. You need people or someone at least. So please talk. And that's all I kind of, yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Oh,
today,
last thing.
Dennis.
Sorry for banging on. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
God.
I'm so sorry. If you know me, you know.
Not having her on again.
If you know me, I talk a lot, bitch. I'm so sorry. Thank you for having and before you even say thank you for having me. I am so grateful, and I'm just so happy I'll be able to.
Oh, you'll
be
be
part
back.
of
You'll be back. You'll be back.
this.
We'll have you
Yeah, I
back.
better, bitch. I better.
As I said, we need to have a whole topic on
Disability.
disability.
Oh,
chronic
girl.
pain.
You know, chronic pain and
Yeah.
people not thinking.
Ooh,
that
'cause
people
chronic
have
pain is a
disabilities
whole
because they're walking
thing.
around and
Yeah.
so forth looking
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So we will
yeah.
have you back.
Oh, thank you.
100%.
Yay, clap to me.
Also, my friend has a new song out called Big Something. Please go follow him on Instagram at officialdoncap1. I will play his new song as our outro. Can't wait.
Whoop, whoop.
It's really
Yeah.
good. So guys, go listen to it. thank you for listening to this podcast. And honestly, I hope that everything we've spoken about in this near enough 2-hour podcast helps you.
And we're not sorry that it's 2 hours.
No,
I'm not sorry,
but if you need
because
help,
I've
you
learned
have
so
got
much.
all of our ats. I'm sure it'll be down in the description. You message
Wholeheartedly.
any single one of us.
If I
because
can't help
we-
you, I will try and get someone
exactly,
that can.
exactly.
Like,
we are here, and we've all been through stuff alone or whatever it may be, and none of us want to see anyone go through that. So don't feel in a way, don't feel scared, don't feel whatever. Hit us the fuck up.
Please.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's a very big something, no. It's a very strong something. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't deny what I'm feeling for you, baby, oh. It's a very big something, oh. It's a very strong something. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, look at your ways. You they make me the grace. Oh, yeah, baby, no delay. I said, baby, no delay. I said, look at your ways. You they make me the grace. Oh, yeah, baby, no delay. I said, baby, no delay. Get your body back, you know. And me, I want late for your cock, you know. Your love make me feel like fashola. You know me no go want make it go. Get nobody can do. Ain't nobody like you. And if I best if you come, I go cool. If you go, you go tell me to do. If only you could see the way I'm feeling. I do know what nobody. When I'm on your body, you got me. If only you could see the way I'm feeling. I do know what nobody. When I'm on your body, you got me. Hey, I can't deny what I'm feeling for you, baby. You. It's a very big something, no. It's a very strong something. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't deny what I'm feeling for you, baby. Oh, it's a very big something. Oh, it's a very strong something. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, look at your ways. You they make me the grace. Oh, yeah, baby, no delay. I said, baby, no delay. I said, look at your ways.